Ladies and gentlemen, it is football time in Texas.
From Studio 42 on HoweEnterprise.com, this is Howe Bulldogs football.
The monkey is off the back. All toes are on the ground. 22 stops in 22.
Howe Bulldogs football is brought to you by Scoggins Funeral Home, Baker Air Conditioning and Heating, Independent Financial, GC Easy, Sonic of Howe.
And Rattler just barrels over a defender and goes Superman at the 32-yard line.
Also brought to you by Michelle Castle, Guild Mortgage, Atmos Energy, Corey Hernandez, State Farm, Rapid Electric, Brother Plumber, Attorney Micah Belden.
Been caught in the middle of the end zone in the back corner. It's Cooper Jones, and it's touchdown time in Texas.
Also brought to you by Howe Athletic Booster Club, Linda Hamill Insurance, Michelle Carney Photography, Hit Exteriors LLC, TechWave, Night Furniture, Bullard Construction.
And Howe says they have the football. Howe has the football.
Also brought to you by All In Custom Gutters and Christmas Lights, Texoma Land and Home Realty Team, Goodfellas Barbershop, Don Smokehouse.
Haley's going to keep it up the middle. He's in. It's touchdown time in Texas. Austin Haley, who usually does it with his arm, does it with his feet.
Now let's open the Rapid Electric tailgate party and join the voice of the Howe Bulldogs, Monty Walker.
The 5th-ranked Bells Panthers enter Bulldog Stadium pitted against the turnaround gang, the 40th-ranked Howe Bulldogs. Both teams have 5-2 records, and both teams are trying to supplant themselves into heavy playoff scenarios and seedings. The Panthers are led by Howe's former offensive coordinator Dale West, which means it'll be ground and pound with the slot T machine. Howe will use the balanced attack with the Jedi and company to try and finally convince the pundits that the Dogs are for real. Lots of talk about each team's offense, but this one will come down to the defense, as it always does in big games. It's old school versus new school, and it's football time in Texas.
You're listening to the Rapid Electric tailgate party.
Here's some things to never mess with if you're not a trained professional. Caging a bulldog. Removing copperheads. And electricity. Don't get shocked. Call Rapid Electric. Rapid Electric is here for all your electrical needs. Just like you wouldn't try to become a pro boxer or president. Not a joke. You need a pro to keep your electricity humming. Don't get shocked. Rapid Electric serves the Grayson County area. Call them at 903-421-8100.
I'm attorney Micah Belden, an old-school black and white Howe Bulldog. In criminal defense, you need someone who fights like a bulldog. Call me now if you've been investigated, arrested, or charged with a crime in North Texas. My number is 903-744-4252. We'll set up a free consultation. You will find out that I'm rough, tough, and I can't get enough. I'm board certified in criminal law by the Texas Board of Legal Specialization, Principal Office, Sherman, Texas. Visit my website at shermancriminallawyer.com.
You're listening to the Rapid Electric tailgate party. Let's join Monty Walker with this week's Senior Spotlight. The Senior Spotlight is brought to you by Scoggins Funeral Home.
This week's Senior Spotlight is Ryan Huff. Favorite teacher?
Miss Nail.
Everybody says that. Everybody. Okay, favorite coach?
Probably Coach Nitson.
Okay. You have an amazing neighbor. Talk about him.
Sometimes you just gotta...
That's me. I'm just kidding. Okay. Yeah, he's awesome. All right. Just kidding. Last week's game against the number 1 ranked team, Gunner Tigers, you came out and made a statement early that the Howe Bulldogs are to not be overlooked. Overall thoughts on last week's game?
I mean, you got to treat every opponent just like you'd treat a number 1 overall team, and we came out and did that, and although the outcome didn't come out as exactly what we hoped for, I mean, we made the statement, and a lot of people are going to be respecting us, especially as we move towards playoffs and the end of the season, and so we just got to continue to make strides toward being the best team we can be.
Now, you're in a leadership role as a senior. Are you one of those vocal leaders, or are you a lead by example kind of guy?
It really depends on the situation. I mean, I've always liked leading by example. It's more of a personal preference of mine, but sometimes, I mean, you got to speak up to get people to do what they need to do whenever they're not everything's clicking the way it should.
Now, you're closing in on 1,000 yards receiving for your career here at Howe. You've become Haley's go-to guy on the quick slant. It takes a special receiver to dart across the middle like that. Your thoughts on going across the middle and maybe taking a pop?
You can't really think too much about it. I mean, I learned that sophomore year, especially against Mineola. I mean, you can't really treat it like anything else because if you're scared whenever you're going across, you're not going to catch the ball, and then it's worthless. It doesn't get you anywhere.
You went through 2 seasons against Mineola, Mount Vernon, Winsboro, Commerce, Rains, Pottsboro, and Bonham in the Little Big 12. Did that brutal schedule help you now that you're playing great teams such as Gunter and Bells?
Yeah, it definitely did. It's, really shows you what real competition is, and it allowed us to just take that extra step once we got settled in and were ready to go against really good teams.
Bells runs the slot T. You know what you're going to get. All of Texoma knows what you're going to get. They're going to try to limit your amount of offensive possessions. How important is it to score on each trip?
It's absolutely vital. I mean, really what sets them apart is their defense. It's not necessarily their offense. Their defense is what sets them apart. I mean, they held Gunter to 24 points 2 weeks ago, and so really you just got to score as much as you can so that they've got to play from behind.
If you're able to beat Bells, what does it do for your confidence going forward?
It really sets us up to do well, and it sets us up with an easier playoff schedule, and it's really an important thing that we go out and beat Bells and make another statement again because they're the number 4 or 5 ranked team in the state, so beating them will make just as big a statement as hanging with Gunter.
That's my neighbor, Ryan Huff, your Senior Spotlight.
The Senior Spotlight is brought to you by Scoggins Funeral Home. You're listening to the Rapid Electric Tailgate Party.
Since 2011, Scoggins Funeral Home and Crematory has walked with hundreds of families through the most overwhelming time of their lives. Their job is simple: to make this season a little easier. What you can expect is a no-pressure, people-first philosophy, custom services for memorials that you'll remember forever, and reasonable pricing. Tommy and Bobby K. Scoggins have built a reputation over the past 30 years in the funeral business for making every family feel at home. Visit ScogginsFuneralHome.com or call 903-482-5225.
You might know that State Farm agent Corey Hernandez has great service. Corey is your good neighbor after all. But did you know State Farm has surprisingly great rates too? That's right. State Farm agent Corey Hernandez is here to help you select the right protection at the right price. Corey will make sure you understand your State Farm coverages so you'll know what to expect if the unexpected happens. Call State Farm agent Corey Hernandez at 903-893-8400 or visit insurancequotetexoma.com. When you want the real deal, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
You're listening to the Rapid Electric Tailgate Party. Let's join Blake the Blizzard Burnett for today's District 8 3A Division II Roundup. Roundup is brought to you by Don's Smokehouse.
Howdy, folks. Welcome to the District 8 3A Division II District Roundup. We are 2 weeks into district play, and some of these games have been big-time matchups in the state. 2 weeks ago, number 1 Gunter played number 4 Bells, and number 1 Gunter won 24-14. The standings for District 8 3A Division II go as Gunter 2-0, Howe, Bells, Leonard, and Blue Ridge all in second place right now with a district record of 1-1. Lone Oak is 0-2 in district play. This is a huge week in the district considering Howe will be hosting Bells and Leonard will be traveling to Blue Ridge for a big-time district matchup tonight. The 4 teams tied for second place all face off this week. That's big-time district football in the state of Texas. 2 big-time matchups all in this district. It's going to be a great night of football tonight. Last week, Gunter beat Howe 54-21. Howe punched Gunter early in the mouth, but Gunter is a machine and took the body blow that Howe delivered and then knocked them out in the fourth quarter. That's what Gunter does and been doing for the last 7 years. Howe is the first team to score over 20 points on Gunter this year. Howe has a lot to look back on this game and learn from, and they will only get better because of this game. In the playoffs, Howe will look back and say, "Thank you, Gunter, for the hard-fought contest last Friday." Gunter will travel to Lone Oak tonight, and Lone Oak is still looking for their first win on the season. Howe will host the Bells Panthers tonight. This is one of our big-time matchups, where the winner will hold the inside track to the number 2 seed in the district. Bells beat Blue Ridge 82-32. That's right, 82 points were scored in the Bells offense last week. Let's just say The slot T was not stopped one time by Blue Ridge last Friday. Blue Ridge will host Leonard tonight in our second big-time matchup of the week, and the winner will be sitting pretty to make the playoffs as the number 4 seed in the district. Leonard beat Lone Oak last week 41-21. Everyone traveling out to these games have safe travels, and let's hope we don't have any injuries for any of the players or coaches or refs in any of these games tonight. Adios from District 8, 3A, Division 2.
Today's District 8 3A Division II Roundup is brought to you by Don's Smokehouse.
Don's Smokehouse is located in downtown Howe and is a full-service butcher shop.
You're listening to the Rapid Electric Tailgate Party.
At Grayson Cullen Electric Cooperative, GCEC, we have been around for over 80 years and are governed by 7 principles: open and voluntary membership, democratic member control, members' economic participation, autonomy and independence, education, training, and information, cooperation among cooperatives, and concern for community. One of our communities is Howe, Texas, and GCEC is proud to support the Howe Bulldogs.
This is Michelle Castle with Guild Mortgage, welcoming you to Howe Bulldogs football. Guild has been delivering on the promise of home to hundreds of thousands of people just like you for over 60 years. With a big heart and a desire to serve, we're committed to making life better in our communities. This is where we live, and we're committed to building it with you.
Guild Mortgage Company, Equal Housing Opportunity Company, NMLS number 3274. Michelle Castle, NMLS number 231122. Branch address 714 North Travis Street, Sherman, Texas 75090. All loans subject to underwriter approval. Terms and conditions apply. Subject to change without notice.
Hi, this is Matt Linder with Linda Hamill Insurance. Your home field is where everything happens. And I'm not talking about Bulldog Stadium. We're talking about your home, your car, and your life. For over 30 years, we've been offering bundled discounts on home, auto, and life. We offer Germania and Progressive Insurance Protection, as well as many others to suit your needs. Call us today at 903-965-4098 or come by and see us at 106 North Broadway in Bells, Texas. That's 903-965-4098.
You're listening to the Rapid Electric Tailgate Party. Welcome to the Linda Hamill Insurance Coaches Corner. Now let's join Monty Walker with Howe Bulldogs head coach Lance Bryan.
Coach, last Friday you had a great game plan against the Gunner Tigers, a great football team. You put up a tremendous fight. The final score really doesn't indicate how that game went.
You know, we felt like it was really close for about 2.5 quarters. You know, it was a 2-score game about midway through the third quarter, and, you know, things kind of got away from us, you know, for a little while there. You know, but the first half especially, our kids came out fighting, and, you know, we talked to them all week about, you know, you can't back down from a big opponent, and, you know, Gunner's ranked number 1 for a reason. They're a loaded roster, and, you know, they don't have a lot of weaknesses, and so there's not a whole lot to necessarily exploit. And so, you know, the game plan was basically to execute, you know, what we needed to do to slow them down. And you know, we were able to slow them down a little bit early, you know, big 4th down, you know, stand, you know, early in the game. And, you know, obviously Rattler's big run, second play of the game, that's a huge momentum swing, you know, for us, and gave our kids a lot of confidence, and that kind of bled through for a while. And you know, unfortunately, as the game kind of wore on, you know, we kind of wore down a little bit, and, you know, that's something we need to, you know, continue to improve on. But, you know, I was proud of the way our kids fought, but, you know, we're not looking at moral victories. That's not, when a moral victory is a loss, and that's all it is. And so that's not really what we're looking at. But you know, one of the positive takeaways is that, you know, down in, down out, there was a long time in there where we were going toe to toe, and we were matching shots, and we were doing some good stuff. And so we just need to be able to do that, you know, for a longer period of time, and, you know, try to come out on top of those.
So, you know, it was a great game at the half. What was the locker room like at the half there with your kids?
You know, we talked a lot about how we proved, you know, we can play with them. And, you know, we were picked to lose by, you know, between 30 and 40, depending on the poll. And so, you know, nobody really even gave us a shot to even, you know, be in the game. And, you know, I would anticipate that a team like Gunner probably anticipated that they were going to be able to put us away, you know, probably in the first quarter or by halftime at least, and that wasn't the case. And so, you know, we knew, and the kids knew, like, hey, we're toe to toe here. You know, we're doing a lot of good stuff. And so, you know, the message to them was, you know, we fixed, you know, little mistakes or little errors here or there, and, you know, basically just stay true to our game plan, and, you know, just encourage the kids to keep fighting, and they did that.
So you've got a lot of 4-year starters on this roster, some 3-year starters. They faced opponents like Mineola, Mount Vernon, Winsboro for the past couple of years. Do you think that helps going into a game like that against Gunner?
Definitely. It's hard to turn it up and turn it down, depending on, your opponent. And we try to build up every game like it's a big game. And, they were in a tough district last year and, a lot of tough opponents, week in, week out. So you can't take anybody lightly. I feel like our district's the same way because when you look at, Gunner's number 1, Bells is number 4, and Leonard went 3 rounds deep last year. And so there's a lot of good talent in this district too. And so it's a tough slate, but, you've got to get up and stay up for every single team, and these kids are used to doing that over these last few years, and so we kind of lean right into that. That's just what we do here is we get up for big games.
I think there's a player on your defense that has really stepped up. Wasn't there early in the season, has come on after an injury. Gary Langford's played outstanding at cornerback. What's he been able to do for you out there?
He's one of those kids. He's a great kid. Like one of the things that he does after every single game, and I feel like he was probably raised really well. Not that a lot of our kids are raised that way, but after every single game, he comes up and says thank you to his coaches that personally coach him. And he means it. And so like he's one of those kids that he has taken every single bit of any coaching that we've ever given him, and he's done everything that he can to do it to the best of his abilities. And he's got a lot of ability, and so you put those two things together, and you got a kid that starts making a whole bunch of plays. And he's come downhill probably about 6 times now, I think, where he's come downhill and made a tackle for loss, and that's not easy to do at corner because you've got a long way to run. You've got to get downhill fast and read your keys quickly, and he does that. And and he can run, and so he's able to go cover receivers. And even though he's a sophomore, and we talked about the moment not being too big for some of those 2 and 3 and 4 year starters. He's a guy that he was on varsity baseball as a freshman. He's used to being in big moments, and baseball team made the playoffs last year, and he was he had a hand in that. And so he's ready for big moments, and I anticipate that we're going to hear his name a whole lot more for the next 3 years.
G-Force.
It's a great nickname.
We're going to take a quick timeout. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
This is Matt Linder with Linda Hamill Insurance. Your home field is where everything happens. And I'm not talking about Bulldog Stadium. We're talking about your home, your car, and your life. For over 30 years, we've been offering bundled discounts on home, auto, and life. We offer Germania and Progressive insurance protection, as well as many others to suit your needs. Call us today at 903-965-4098 or come by and see us at 106 North Broadway in Bells, Texas. That's 903-965-4098.
All right, Coach Bells comes to town. Dale West, our former offensive coordinator in Howe. A lot of people in Howe are familiar with him and the slot T here. They remember those 8 playoff games here in the mid part of the last decade. How do you stop the slot T?
Stopping the slot T is incredibly hard. There's a reason why it was invented probably in 1930 and it's 2022 and teams are still running it. It's a great offense and it's a great scheme and it's hard to stop. I think the bigger thing is that, you've got to match their physicality because when you run that kind of an offense, that's what you're trying to hang your hat on. You're saying everybody knows what we're going to do. And they're not hiding what they're going to do. There's some misdirection and some things like that the slot T does that kind of makes it a little bit harder, to decipher what's going on. But essentially, they are coming right at you right now, and they're going to try to make you stop it. And so, being physical up front, reading keys quickly, not getting our eyes caught in the backfield and, looking at all the, the fake handoffs and everything like that. We got to play some assignment football, but the biggest thing is we've got to come off the ball on the line. And so it's going to be in the trenches, really, that the game's won or lost.
Cooper Jones, another 3 touchdowns last week. At what point does he get statewide attention?
He's like 7th in 3A for touchdowns. He has 13 touchdowns. He's thrown for 1. He's run in for several. In the Wild Dog, and he's obviously caught a whole bunch too. And he's an offensive weapon, and we try to move him around and get him the ball in different ways. And it's week 8 now. I mean, there's teams are whatever they are at this point. There's probably no real secrets at this point. So everybody knows that, he's a big weapon out there and teams are going to have to count for him. And so, he's a great player and he makes a lot of plays. And, I don't know why people aren't talking about him more, statewide, but, if you keep making plays, it'll come.
One thing that's helped him also is the play of Haley being able to find other receivers. And it looks like he's really dialed in and started to lock in with his slot receivers. Braden Ulmer and Colin Murphy as well.
Definitely. Those guys, they don't get quite the attention Cooper does because Cooper just seems to find the end zone a little bit more, and that's not necessarily by design. It's just that he keeps getting in the end zone. But those other guys are making a lot of big plays, and teams do try to take away Cooper. That's something that is, other teams are going to game plan for that, and I don't blame them. I would too. I faced them. I did the same thing whenever I was facing against them. But, but that opens up opportunities for other guys. And, Haley does a good job not forcing it to Cooper. There's times where we're going to go up to him in a 50-50 situation, but we don't need to force it to him down in, down out, because we have other great players, and Braden Ulmer and Murphy are both two of those. And, BU's just a sophomore. He's another one of our, puppies that's up, that's biting pretty good. And, he's a great player. And Murphy was up last year as a sophomore, so he's not new to this. And so, we definitely use those guys to, spread the ball around and, make us a little harder to defend.
So big game Friday night, big, huge playoff implications. Third district game, if you're able to light it up, what does that do for the playoff scenario?
The district's pretty wide open. There's 4 spots, 6 teams, and right now, one team's 2-0, one team's 0-2, and then there's 4 teams all sitting at 1-1. And so it's going to come down to, these last 3 games are going to be huge, because all of those teams all play each other. We played Leonard. They're one of the teams that's 1-1, so that was obviously a key victory for us and when it comes to playoffs. And, we've got the next 3 teams that are all 1-1 and coming up. And so we've got to make sure we take care of business. And, we've got to win as many as we can. I heard early in the season people saying things like, 2 will get you in, 2 will get you in. Well, that's not necessarily the case. 2 gets you potentially in a tiebreaker situation. And so, we need to win every single one we can, and, make sure that we don't put ourselves in a situation where we're, counting up points or doing something like that. And so, we need to win every game we possibly can.
Today's Coach's Corner has been brought to you by Linda Hamill Insurance. You're listening to the Rapid Electric Tailgate Party.
Who's your local plumber? Brother Plumber. It's good to know someone local and someone you can trust when your home or office drops the ball.
Mainline break, 15 yards.
Brother Plumber is plumb professional and serves not only Howe, but also all of Grayson County. And you can save yourself 10% if you mention Go Bulldogs. Visit us online at brotherplumber.com. We'd love to help. Brother Plumber is one call away at 469-968-4487. Visit us online at brotherplumber.com. Remember, Go Bulldogs.
Independent Financial is proud to support Howe ISD and their hardworking students, teachers, and staff. We share your vision for a brighter tomorrow and a championship season. For every challenge, Independent Financial has you covered. Our team can suggest a wide range of financial products to make your personal banking fast and easy. Plus, we have the know-how to deliver the game-changing business banking solutions. Independent Financial, your community in your corner. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
You're listening to the Rapid Electric Tailgate Party. Let's join Monty Walker in the opposite corner with tonight's opposing head coach. The opposite corner is brought to you by Michelle Carney Photography.
Sitting here with Bells head coach Dale West. Coach, lots of people in Howe still remember the 8 playoff games back in the middle of the last decade when you brought your slot T to a Bulldog land. Is there one single game that stands out to you from your time there?
Yeah, one that's always comes to mind when we talk about that is the Edgewood game over Roy City. We're down 27-0 and nothing's going right, and we proceeded to run off, I think, 44 straight without throwing a pass. So that's always one that sticks in my head.
Now, we live in a day and age of spread offenses, and anyone who's played 10 games of Madden thinks they're a football expert. Your flavor is of football is not for the timid, not for the entertained. Your style is for the down and dirty, the way it's supposed to be played years ago. Talk about that.
Yeah, it's a sell. We had to sell that and make the kids realize that that's the style we were going to do, but it was going to make us better in the long run. And no, it's probably not fun for the fans to sit up there and watch, but the kids that bought in, it's fun for them.
And that kind of leads me into my next question here. When you got here, they were throwing the football all over the place. More than anybody in the state, fans were having fun, but they weren't winning playoff games. You started 0-2 here, and people were pulling their hair out, but it was a win over Howe over here that kind of started this thing for you, and everybody in town loves you. Just like we said, I think, on that broadcast that night, it's been a fun ride, I'd imagine.
Oh, it has. This is a great place, great administration, great community. We have great parents. So, yeah, it's been a lot of fun. We've had a great group of kids come through here since we've been here. We've been very fortunate, and for the foreseeable future, we got great kids, so it's going to be fun.
This is a senior-laden team. These kids have never played in a pass and tag type of offense. How important is that consistency for your kids?
Yeah, it's huge. You know, we're running through our practices a lot crisper and stuff like that because the familiarity with what we do. You know, we run the same trap drill every Tuesday. You know, the kids know what's going on, and just the familiarity with the offense and knowing what's coming and knowing how to adjust to things has been fun.
You're getting to the point where you've coached a ton of kids. And how rewarding is it when a kid comes up to you that you coached years ago and says what kind of an impact you've made on his life?
Man, it's awesome. And one of them's over there on the opposing sideline. Winston Moss is one of my favorite kids to ever coach. And seeing him, go get married and fixing to have a baby, that's big. And he is a great kid, and he's going to be a great football coach.
What kind of game do you think we'll see tonight between Bells and Howe?
It's going to be a great football game. Howe is so much improved from last year. It all goes through, their seniors too. Austin Haley's a fantastic football player. Rattler's as dangerous as anybody in the district. So, it's going to be a fun game. I hope we can keep the ball away from their offense and maintain some drives and score some points at the end of them. But we've got to execute and play our best game of the year if we want to come out with a win.
The Opposite Corner is brought to you by Michelle Carney Photography. You're listening to the Rapid Electric Tailgate Party.
Hey, it's me, Gus the Gopher for Atmos Energy. I dig all around the yard. Occasionally, I bump into a utility line and get a headache. But if you hit one with your shovel, backhoe, or ditch digger, you could cause a gas leak, disrupt service, or worse. So call 811 at least 3 business days before you or someone else digs in your yard to have those underground utility-owned lines marked. It's free and it's the law. You dig what I'm saying? For more on safe digging, visit atmosenergy.com/811.
Austin Haley's coming to the sidelines.
Oh no, let's hope Haley's okay. Caroline, can you get the mic in there?
Coach, I'm starving. I can't keep going.
But you're the starting quarterback.
Coach, I can't help it. I need something quick.
Hang on. Doreen, quick. Go to Sonic, get a burger, tots, and a shake.
Make it an M&M blast.
Doreen, make that an M&M blast. Large.
Coach, I'm sorry, but Sonic of Howe is where you get great food and big smiles. It's not just good.
I know, it's Sonic good. Hang on, Doreen, bring me some onion rings. Those things really bring the hammer down.
You're listening to the Rapid Electric Tailgate Party. Today's Howe Bulldogs Flux Capacitor is brought to you by Quick Check Convenience Stores. Now let's join Monty Walker with a time travel through Bulldogs history.
The Howe Bulldogs are 6-5 in games played on October the 21st. The first game on this date was played in 1938 when Howe blanked Pilot Point 12-0 at Bulldog Stadium as Chuck Barnett accounted for both Howe scores. In 1943, Howe beat Gainesville's B team 34-0 behind 2 touchdown passes from Ralph Wayne Davis. In 1948, Howe was blanked at Van Alstyne 48-0, and in 1977 rallied to beat Van Alstyne 22-21 after trailing 21-0 in front of the homecoming crowd. Ken Helvey scored the winning touchdown in the fourth quarter. In 1983, Howe won at Tom Bean 34-0 with 494 yards of offense. In 1988, Howe shut out S&S 36-0 behind Adam Coffey's 2-touchdown performance. In 1994, Howe was blanked at Wolf City 14-0 and lost in 1999 at Whitewright 27-25. In 2005, Howe lost at Gunter 42-7, and in 2011 lost to Ponder 22-6. The last time Howe played on this date was in 2016 when the Bulldogs beat Whitesboro 28-17. Howe and Bells have met 50 times, where the Bulldogs have won or tied 40 of them. The first matchup between the two schools took place in 1936 when Howe won 19-6 as Billy Bryant Cloud scored the first touchdown of the series. Howe started a winning streak in 1945 that lasted until a scoreless tie in 1963. Howe won another 8 games in a row from 1979 to 1994, and yet another 6 games in a row from 1998 through 2003. Bell's longest winning streak over Howe is 2 games, which has been done several times, including the last 2 meetings.
Today's Howe Bulldogs Flux Capacitor is brought to you by Quick Check Convenience Stores.
Quick Check Convenience Stores, moving small towns forward. Family owned and operated in North Texas since 1977.
You're listening to the Rapid Electric Tailgate Party.
Here's some things to never mess with if you're not a trained professional. Caging a bulldog. Removing copperheads. And electricity. Don't get shocked. Call Rapid Electric. Rapid Electric is here for all your electrical needs. Just like you wouldn't try to become a pro boxer or president. Not a joke. You need a pro to keep your electricity humming. Don't get shocked. Rapid Electric serves the Grayson County area. Call them at 903-421-8100. Baker Air Conditioning and Heating has been in business in Howe for over 50 years. They even predate the volleyball program and the marching band. Norman Dickey was the new coach when they opened up. Baker Air Conditioning and Heating has been able to serve the good people of Howe and surrounding areas because, well, they're good people. If you've been told you need expensive repairs, get a second opinion with Baker Air Conditioning and Heating. Call 903-532-6255 or see them at 215 Denny Street. Baker Air Conditioning and Heating.
From Studio 42 on HoweEnterprise.com, this is Howe Bulldogs football. Today's scene setter is brought to you by Baker Air Conditioning and Heating, proud partner of Bulldogs Athletics.
Handoff Rattler for the first time tonight. He's got a seam up the middle. Look out. 45, 50, 45, 30. It's a foot race. 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Austin Rattler is down at the 1 yard line.
Tested, up for the fight. In the late October sky, a Panther gold sunset in the west will meet a Bulldog black and white moonlit night. An old friend comes to town with a familiar scheme and a pocket full of gold footballs.
And the Bulldogs are going to be 10-1 and by-district champions.
The Bulldogs are back-to-back by-district champions.
Tonight, the Bulldogs try and slow down the freight train slot T offense that first became popular nearly 100 years ago. But the old school meets the new school with an aerial assault of weapons.
Putting it on a pillow for Cooper Jones. It's touchdown time in Texas. Howe takes the lead.
Tonight, for the second Friday in a row, the Howe Bulldogs will take on a top 5 team in the state of Texas. Can the boys in black eliminate the underdog chatter? We're about to find out.
It's almost intercepted, but it's caught by Jones on the rebound. Stick that one in the end zone. It's touchdown time in Texas. He picked it out of the sky and took it to the house.
It's the Howe Bulldogs and the Bells Panthers. Here we go. Live from the oldest active stadium in North Texas, from Bulldog Stadium in Howe, Texas. This is Bulldogs football.
Today's scene setter is brought to you by Baker Air Conditioning and Heating, proud partner of Bulldogs Athletics. You're listening to the Rapid Electric Tailgate Party. From Studio 42 on HoweEnterprise.com, this is Howe Bulldogs football. You've been listening to the Rapid Electric Tailgate Party. Football time in Texas is just moments away. Now, with the call of the game, here's the voice of the Howe Bulldogs, Monty Walker.
Well, this was a big one, boys and girls. This is a big one. Tonight, the number 5 Bells Panthers travel in here to Bulldog Stadium, and the Bulldogs, number 43 in the state in Class 3A Division II. Tonight is a big one, Justin White.
Well, yeah, you got to get over last week going against the number 1 team in the state. Then you go against number 5 here. So back to back, you get the two big boys of the district. They're vulnerable, but they're going to be tough. Put up 82 points last week. Bring that slot T offense here to Howe, and it's going to be a tough winner tonight.
That is Justin White, our color analyst on the evening. Standing between us is Jake Roberts. He's our engineer. Right above us is the Blizzard, Blake Burnett. He'll be on stats. Blake, tonight we'll hear from you for the first time tonight. We were both talking in the pregame. This is a big one, and I'm sure you see the same thing.
Yes, Monty and Justin, I see this being a game for second place in the district, where the winner holds the keys to that position. The loser is most likely looking at third place in the district, and that is huge for playoff seedings in the coming weeks.
I'm not sure if Caroline has made her way down to the sideline yet. I think she's down there. Our night furniture sideline reporter, Caroline, what's the temperature like tonight? Set the picture for us. Do we have Caroline?
I see her.
And I don't hear her. So we'll try to check what's going on there. Anyway, we'll get back with Caroline in just a little bit. So,
oh man,
got to fix that one.
Yeah.
I mean, we got nothing. I mean, usually there's some kind of popping and crackling or something, but
some interference or something. But yeah,
nothing there. So we'll try to check that. So let's go over our starting lineups. Your hit exterior starting lineup. You're listening to the Rapid Electric tailgate party. I'll go over the Howe offense. Let's start there. How about that?
Go ahead.
Let's start up front with Roman Garbrandt, the left tackle, Aiden Burris, the left guard, center Malin Walker. He's got a dynamic matchup tonight, a challenge against Cooper Smith, the nose tackle for the Bells Panthers. We'll talk about that later. The right guard is Brody McCollum, the right tackle, Michael Riddle. Split out wide left for the Howe Bulldogs, Ryan Huff. He's creeping up on 1,000 yards receiving for his career. He's got 932, needs 68 to hit the 1,000-yard mark. 8 touchdowns on his career. He's got 2 this season, 15 catches for 271 yards. Split out wide to the right is Cooper Jones. Big week last week. He has 24 catches for 480 yards, 9 touchdowns on the season. He also has a career receiving mark of 81 catches, 1,262 yards, and 11 touchdowns. The slot receiver, Colin Murphy, 17 catches, 189 yards. And another slot receiver, Braden Ulmer, 16 catches, 221 yards, 2 touchdowns. The tailback is Antoine Rattler, 124 carries, 862 yards, which is nearly 7 yards a carry. He's got 8 touchdowns on the ground. He's also caught 6 balls for 58 and 2 touchdowns through the air. Austin Haley, the quarterback, he's a 4-year starter, all-time leading passer in just about every category you can name. He's 84 out of 130 passing this season, 4 interceptions, 1,296 yards through the air, 16 touchdowns through the air. He's also rushed 50 times for 365 yards. He has 6 rushing touchdowns. Overall for his career, over 5,300 yards, 49 touchdowns. His next one obviously will be half 100 for Austin Haley. That's your starting offense for the Howe Bulldogs.
All right, let's go to the Bells defense. Starting on their defensive line, a senior number 50, Kai Brown at defensive end. He's got 37 tackles, 5 tackles for a loss, and 3 sacks. At nose tackle, Cooper Smith. That assignment's going to be pretty difficult for Malin Walker, but did a pretty good job against Braden Harris, I believe, for Leonard. So have another tough assignment here against Cooper Smith, the senior for Bells nose tackle. Other defensive end is Colt Stone with 31 tackles. Outside linebackers are Hayden Allen and Brock Baker. Brock Baker, 98 tackles. He's the leading tackler on this team. Had 17 for a loss, 2 sacks. Inside linebackers are Kohler High and Gabe Rogers. In the secondary, cornerbacks are Preston Carter and Tucker Kreitz. And then free safety is Jacob Aaron and Spencer Hines.
The Howe Bulldogs defense up front, Tank Turner. And you'll see an influx of Malin Walker and Michael Riddle at nose guard. I think you'll see Riddle perhaps maybe more than Walker tonight. Bryce Crosby, the defensive end. You'll see the backers come down for the slot T. Cooper Jones and Bo Stevens. They'll line up on the line of scrimmage. Your backers, Braden Ulmer, Carson Daniels, and your safeties, Tristan Williams, Garen Langford. Your cornerbacks, Tristan Williams, Garen Langford, and your safeties, Austin Haley and Matt Hayes. But you're going to see a lot of Colin Murphy tonight instead of Austin Haley on defense. That's your hit exterior starting lineup for the Howe Bulldog defense.
Okay, let's go to the starting offense for Bells. Over at tight end along the line there for Bells is Cooper Smith. At the left tackle is Jackson Kincaid. Left guard is Brock Rogers. The center is Sheldon Burden. Right guard is junior Gabe Rodriguez. And the right tackle is Jason Boyd. At the wide position is Hayden Allen. He's a sophomore. At the wingback position is Spencer Hines, 48 carries, 711 yards. At halfback, Grady Waldrop, 95 carries, 554 yards. Brock Baker, a senior at fullback, 740 carries for 666 yards. I think is that right? We'll come back to it. Jacob Aaron is the quarterback. He's a senior.
So let's go over your Howe Bulldogs overview. It's brought to you by Goodfellas Barbershop in downtown Howe, specializing in all cuts and styles and straight razor shaves. Experience the old school feel at Goodfellas Barbershop in downtown Howe. The Howe Bulldogs overview tonight, it's all about stopping that slot T offense. You've got to get them off the field, or else they're going to try to take it 16, 17, 18 plays, maybe take the whole quarter. That's what they want to do.
Yeah, this is you want to try to get them behind the chains with the offense for Bells, and take advantage of your opportunities on offense for Howe. And obviously can't turn the ball over, can't give them extra possessions to take more time off that clock.
If Howe turns the ball over one time, it's going to be nearly impossible tonight.
Yeah, and especially the way that this late in the season, how Bells is able to just churn out yards. I mean, they're a well-oiled machine right now. In their fourth year here at Bell under this offense with Coach West.
You know, we talked to Carolina. Have we tried that yet? Have we? Still nothing.
Batteries?
Oh wait, there's something.
What? Oh, hi.
Hey, there
Hi.
you are.
I'm right here. Hi. Right here.
Hey, tell us about the evening.
Listen, it feels incredible out here. I'm not kidding. It's let me check my watch. It is 78 degrees. The low is 50. It's just windy. I thought it may rain, but it's just windy. It feels incredible out here. I love it.
Train's going by a little bit early tonight.
I know. I was just thinking that. It's our good luck charm.
So, you know, we were talking about Bells when Dale West first got there. You know, they had gone from the air raid. They were throwing it more than anybody in the state of Texas. You know, their fans were loving it because they were, you know, anybody who plays Madden, you know, that's what they want to do. They want to air it out and all that kind of stuff. And that's what football has become these days. And they did not like it when Dale West was hired, one, because they knew their fun was going to go away and they were going to run the football all the time. And that takes the fun out of it, right? Mm-hmm. And then they started 0-2. Dale West started 0-2 over there in Bells, and everybody's freaking out. They're all losing their mind. Mm-hmm. And we were in a game over there for the third game of the season. They were 0-2, and we said this in 2019. You got to love that guy. Even when you face him and he's your opponent, you still love him. He's a great guy, and he's so good for those kids over there. And that's a great thing about, you know, some of these programs and towns. They don't realize that, you know, you may not like the slot T. Maybe it's not the most fun, and you were playing air raid, and that was all fun. Mm-hmm. And even though you didn't win a playoff game,
I think so, yeah.
But it was fun, and now you're running the slot T, and everybody's bored. But guess what? You're going to win with him. And another thing is, your kids are going to be better off being around that guy, and that's the most important thing. When your kids are around those guys more than they are their dads. Mm-hmm. That's the most important thing. And now everybody over there, as we're back to 2022, mm-hmm. Now all he's done is just win, and they love him over there. He's 43-18 as a head coach. He went 9-4 at Bells last year, lost to Holiday in regionals in overtime. In 2020, went 9-3, lost to Eastland in the area. In 2019, went 9-4, lost to Pewitt 53-20 in regionals. So this is a head coach who has not missed the playoffs in over 10 years as an offensive coordinator or as a head coach. He's combined 69-30 as a head coach or offensive coordinator. That is just absolutely remarkable.
Yeah, it's fascinating how everything he puts his hands on wins. And, you know, they start out 0-2, you know, start out a little slow there. It takes a little bit to get from the air raid to the slot T offense.
That's a complete turnaround.
Yeah, so, but they're, like I said, they're churning it out now. And, as you said, everybody loves them, and they see the product on the field.
You know, they when he was here in Howe for 3 seasons, Howe rushed for over 13,000 yards during that 3-year period. And Howe went 26-12 and played in 8 playoff games from 2014, 15, and 16. So not the most fun offense to watch as the Bulldogs come on the field. But Bulldogs right now do have a fun offense to watch. Austin Haley and company, and I tell you what, they are putting on a show each week through the air and on the ground. A lot of people think that Howe throws the football a lot, and they do, but not as much as they have in years past.
Yeah, and I think they're pretty balanced. You know, they kind of take what the offense gives them. You know, you got to get a dose of Antoine Rattler. The fact that Austin Haley can run the ball well now, he's an improved runner. And then they have the weapons in Cooper Jones and Colin Murphy and Ryan Huff. They got weapons all over the field on this offense.
The Howe Bulldogs, and they're all black tonight, black pants, black helmets, black socks, black shoes, white numbers, and 2 white stripes over the middle of the helmet. The Bells Panthers in all white, conversely, white pants, white tops, gold helmets with the block B. They've had that block B for about 40 years now at least, maybe even longer than that. They're coming through their their Panther tunnel. At least they're in there right now. They're about to come out just about any moment now. And the far side about to be excited as here come the Bells Panthers through their tunnel carrying an American flag and the Bulldog Panther flag. Am I going to do that all night?
Call the Bell Bulldogs?
Man.
Bells Bulldogs?
Man, you got to stop that. So again, a big game tonight. Number 5 Bells and number 43 Howe. The Bulldogs think they can come over here and upset this thing. And Howe thinks that they not only can play on the field with Bells, but get out of here with a win and make a statement that, hey, we're no longer the 0-10 team. This is us.
Well, I think they showed that a little bit last week against Gunner, and just being able to hang in there at least for about two and a half quarters. They were in that game with Gunner, and so I think that gave some confidence coming into tonight's game.
Captains making their way out on the field. It's Austin Haley, Carson Daniels, Aiden Burris, and Ryan Huff on the far side.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay.
And I think Caroline's ready to go over there.
What do you got, Tails? What do you call the call?
Bells called tails.
It is.
And it's popping in and out.
We won the toss.
Howe won the toss?
Howe won the toss. Did they elect to, let's see what he says here. Looks like Howe won the toss. They're going to take the football first. That would have happened either way, I'm pretty sure, because I think if Bells would have won the toss, they would have deferred to the second half. So I think it worked out.
Best for both teams.
I think everybody got what they wanted right there. So I think we're just about ready for the national anthem as the teams line up. They are allowed to pink out this game, the Howe Bulldogs are, but I don't see a lot of pink. Some are wearing, Cooper Jones will always wear pink. He has it on the back of his hand, or back of his arms, the strips there, the turf strips. Michael Riddle with the pink, looks like gloves. Ethan Mayo with the pink strips on the back of his. Garen Langford has the pink towel. Antoine Rattler has pink gloves. So that's about all the pink we're going to get tonight out of the Howe Bulldogs. Maybe Garrett Gibbs, I see some pink there. Pink pom-poms for Bells on the far side. And I think we're going to have this is a great tradition, the second grade, our third grade, I can't remember what class it is, that'll sing the national anthem. I think it might be third grade now.
This is cool. This is a cool tradition.
It really is. It's a cool tradition. And it looks like the students are going to be ready any moment to fire off with the national anthem. All of them decked out, and you could have said maybe perhaps a different color. They're all wearing gold.
I was about to say,
it's kind of the Bells color.
That's what I thought too. I thought, is this the Bells third grade class?
And this is the Howe School song. We're going to do that first as everybody raises their Bulldog paws in the air, including the play-by-play guy, graduated here in 1992. But the players do not. They're some of them do. They're doing it. Bryce Crosby. The front half is. The back half is not. It's going to be an interesting matchup tonight. You've got old school versus new school, Justin White. You got 1940 versus the spread 2022.
Yeah, it's going to be a matchup of completely different offenses. And see how the defense adjusts as well.
I'd like to thank you all for listening. We had a tremendous listening audience a week ago. Hope to have another good one tonight. So far, so good. But you can hear Roger Tidwell give the announcement that the students are about to give the national anthem.
I'm so thankful for the day.
We have the prayer first.
I pray that we as a community come together to support our football team and that both teams stay healthy and working out. God, I pray that the boys' spirits stay high, but their views of themselves stay low, God. And I thank you for the opportunity to live in a country that we can come out here and enjoy football and each other's company. I ask that the Bells fans and football team have safe travels on the way home, and that we continue to see each and every day as a blessing, as you are the one that has given it to us. And may our actions and everything we do glorify you, God. It's in your powerful name that we pray. Amen.
That was Tegan Stubblefield with the prayer. She's a varsity cheerleader, also a volleyball player. Did a great job there.
Excellent prayer.
So I think we're just about ready now for the national anthem. A lot of phone cameras out for this one. Here we go. If that doesn't give you goosebumps, you might want to call the funeral home and check out caskets because something's wrong with you. That was pretty good.
That's small town for you right there. That just feels small town. That feels good. That's good community.
And with that, Justin White, it is football time in Texas.
Yes.
In Howe, Texas, and this is going to be a beauty. Boys and girls, this is a big one. And the Howe Bulldogs preparing to receive for the first time to open this thing tonight. As the Bells Panthers run out there on the kickoff team, they'll be kicking to the south end zone, meaning the Howe Bulldogs will be moving right to left against the Bells Panthers here in the first quarter to start this thing. Antoine Rattler will be deep to return.
You know what's fun about this game is that a lot of these kids know each other just from growing up, playing in other sports. But as I said, growing up, so this is kind of and the towns are so close together.
There is a history between these two teams dating back to a 5th and 6th grade semifinal game in youth football. We'll talk about that one later. It was a big one then. And here's your Tech Wave kickoff. It's a high, deep kick towards the 5-yard line, bounces straight up towards Rattler. He picks it up on a hop at the 5-yard line, comes up the middle of the field, and is knocked down at the 10-yard line. And Howe will be moving right to left deep in their own territory from about the 11, it looks like.
I think Rattler was hoping that would go into the end zone, but it bounced about the 3-yard line, took a bounce straight up in the air, and he had to take it on the run and only got about 5-7 yards on the carry on the turn.
So the matchup here is the center, Malin Walker, against Cooper Smith, the nose tackle for Bells. It's junior versus senior, senior being Cooper Smith, and he is an outstanding nose tackle. That's a matchup to watch. As Haley goes back in the gun, Rattler to his right, 2 receivers near side, and Haley's going to run it on first down to the right side. He's going to get a couple of yards, not much, maybe to the 13, maybe to the 14. I think they'll give him 2 to the 13.
Kind of a quarterback design run, go right behind the right guard, and able to push away for a couple of yards. That stingy defense, 3 down linemen for defensive linemen for the Bells.
Howe looks to the sideline, again moving right to left towards the concession stand, a long way away from that north end zone where they're trying to get. Got a long way, got to try to sustain a drive here. 2nd down and 8. Coming in motion is Cooper Jones, and Haley's going to run to the near side, pitch it out to Rattler. He's stopped in his tracks but makes a cut and a move back to the line of scrimmage, and Rattler is down. It's going to be 3rd and long for Howe.
A speed option the left side, and it just the spacing wasn't good between Haley and Rattler. It just didn't look right from the beginning, and they lost a yard. They're lucky they only had lost that much.
So it's 3rd down and 9 for Howe, who has yet to throw the football in this football game. Both Haley rushes and a pitch. Haley drops back, wants to throw for the first time tonight. A bullet over the middle, going down for the catch and a first down is Cooper Jones. And what a big catch that was to move the sticks at about the 23-yard line.
Man, that was a laser across the middle. Had good protection. Only rushed 3 for Bells. But good protection by the offensive line and just threw a laser to Cooper Jones right across the middle as he was sliding to the ground and caught it.
If anybody had any questions about Austin Haley's right shoulder, you can forget about that. That was a Brett Favre throw all the way. 1st and 10, new set of downs for Howe, right to left. Man goes in motion is Braden Ulmer. He gets it on the jet sweep, coming near side, looking for a block. Can't get it, drugged down from behind. A nice job by the linebacker over there to scrape across. And that scraper was Bryson Thompson.
Yeah, Thompson playing that linebacker position, I believe, there, and he did a great job. As soon as Ulmer got that ball, came over there and met him behind the line of scrimmage, loss of 1. They got a lot of speed on this defense for Bells.
2nd down and 11. They held Gunner to only 24 points 2 weeks ago. And Haley's going to keep it, pulls it out of the gutter. Rattler throws it across the middle. It's knocked away. Cooper Jones cannot come up with it. And it'll be 3rd down and 11. 6th play of the drive coming up.
RPO action there, faked it to Rattler. Some of the Bills' defensive players bid on the fake. Rolled to his right, and a little bit behind Jones, but it was definitely catchable, and he just dropped it, and Cooper Jones knew it.
So Rattler will stand to the right side of Haley in the gun. 3 receivers this time to the right. Haley rolls that way, looking down the field, throws. It's going to be caught by Ulmer. Look out, 50, 45, 40. Down the sideline, far side, cuts it 35. Down at the 20-yard line. A big run and catch. Braden Ulmer from Austin Haley.
Haley rolled to his right, and Ulmer got behind the coverage, got right behind Tucker Kreitz, and just threw it, lofted it right over the hands of Kreitz. Kreitz tried to tip it. And good job by Ulmer. Here they go quickly.
58 yards. Here's a handoff to Rattler coming left side. It almost slipped down, but he has a pretty good gainer for the first time tonight down to the 11 or 12-yard line, close to moving the sticks.
I like it when the Bulldogs, they try to go quickly after a big gain. They'll do it here again on this one.
8 yards for Rattler. 2nd down and 2 coming up. They'll stop now and look to the sideline. Regroup and get the play. It's going to be Cooper Jones split out wide right with Ulmer in the slot. On the near side is Murphy in the slot and Huff split out wide. Now Murphy goes in motion left to right. Handoff Rattler. No, Austin Haley kept it. Fakes the pitch, goes up the middle, and he's down at the 1-yard line. They'll mark him actually at the 3 as he had his legs cut out from underneath him as he was going towards the end zone. He gets up a little slow, but he's gimpy a little bit on that left leg, but I know Austin Haley well enough to know that he's going to stay in the football game. It's 1st and goal at the 3.
Sorry, a lot of movement there. Murphy was in motion, faked it to Rattler, and then, as we said, Haley has improved his running style. He's a running option and got his legs taken out pretty good there on that run.
1st and goal from the 3. Haley, handoff, Rattler, left side, trying to push his way in, and now he's pushed backwards as his helmet has come off. Forward progress will take him maybe to the 2, so give him a yard. And Howe on their 10th play of the drive with 7:39 and rolling here in the 1st, trying to punch it in right here. You need 6, not 3.
Went straight up the gut, and there was a hole there, but Bryson Thompson was waiting right there at his linebacker spot and just pushed back Rattler at the point of contact. Rattler lost his hat and has come off the field.
So Carson Daniels in for Rattler. Stand to the left side of Haley. He wants it. Handoff to Daniels. He's met at the line of scrimmage, and he's moved backwards. Nothing doing there. And forward progress back to the line of scrimmage, which is the 2. Daniels wanted a penalty for the late pushback. But it's now 3rd down and goal from the 2.
Well, big back Carson Daniels thought he could push his way through, but Cooper Smith and Kohler High were right there to push him back.
And now the Wild Dog coming in motion is Rattler, and here is Cooper Jones, and no, he did not get in, but he's at the 1. It's 4th and goal.
Wow.
I think you got to go for it here. You're at the 1-yard line. I think you got to go Wild Dog again, do you not?
You have to. Man, there was an opening there. I thought he was in there for sure.
I thought he was too.
Maybe a half-yard short.
4th and goal from the 1. Wild Dog again. Rattler in the slot to the right side. Snap back, Jones trying to dive over, and he's in. It's touchdown time in Texas. He jumps over the offensive line into the end zone, and Howe with a 6-0 early lead with 6:11 on the clock here at Bulldog Stadium awaiting this PAT.
Straight up the gut, and if you try to tackle him, you may get a kick to the chin because he went in there almost feet first as he leaped into the end zone.
Garcia on for the PAT. Haley to hold. The kick is up. Kick is true. 7-0. Howe in the lead. 6:11. We'll be right back.
Here's some things to never mess with if you're not a trained professional. Caging a bulldog. Removing copperheads. And electricity. Don't get shocked. Call Rapid Electric. Rapid Electric is here for all your electrical needs. Just like you wouldn't try to become a pro boxer or president. Not a joke. You need a pro to keep your electricity humming. Don't get shocked. Rapid Electric serves the Grayson County area. Call them at 903-421-8100.
I'm attorney Micah Belden, an old school black and white Howe Bulldog. In criminal defense, you need someone who fights like a bulldog. Call me now if you've been investigated, arrested, or charged with a crime in North Texas. My number is 903-744-4252. We'll set up a free consultation. You will find out that I'm rough, tough, and I can't get enough. I'm board certified in criminal law by the Texas Board of Legal Specialization, Principal Office, Sherman, Texas. Visit my website at shermancriminallawyer.com.
Your hit exterior scoring drive recap for Howe went 12 plays, 89 yards, took 5 minutes and 29 seconds off the clock. Ended on a 1-yard touchdown in the wild dog for Cooper Jones. There's 6:11 on the clock right now, and here's your Tech Wave kickoff. That was your hit exterior scoring drive recap. It's a high kick, goes over the head. The ball's on the turf. Bells has to go back for it. Swarmed and slung down at the 20-yard line is Spencer Hines. A great play there. The ball just kept bounding and bounding. That's kind of what they wanted to happen against Gunner a week ago. It didn't get the great hop like it got tonight.
Yeah, it just kept dribbling and took a high bounce over one of the Bells players and then right into the hands of Hines. And Hines, by that time, the Bulldogs had swarmed him, and we got a man down for Howe.
Braden Ulmer.
We're going to take a quick timeout. We'll be. Oh, no. He's getting back up. So one of these, we're going to have to be quick on the trigger with commercials tonight in order to get them in because both teams are going to try to hog the ball, which is going to keep us from commercial opportunities. Otherwise, we're going to have a very long postgame show. And I don't really want to be here till 11 o'clock tonight. So we're going to try to sneak them in anytime we can.
So the time of possession affects so many different things.
It does. First, and we had a talk with the officials before the game. 1st and 10 for Bells. And this will be the end around, and bouncing free is Spencer Hines up to the middle of the field. He's got a lot of room down to the 30, to the 20, being chased down by Rattler. One play, and Bells scores from 78. Hines takes it the distance.
Wow. Hines in that wingback spot went from the left to the right on the end around and found a hole and got to the second level. There's nobody there. Everybody's playing in the box. And then it was just a foot race to the other side, to the other pylon, to the end zone.
So much for taking time off the clock.
How maybe have to be the team that drains the clock here.
Hines now will hold. And the kick, the extra point looks true, and it is, as it's banged through there by Kohler High. We'll take a timeout, 7-7. We'll be right back.
Since 2011, Scoggins Funeral Home and Crematory has walked with hundreds of families through the most overwhelming time of their lives. Their job is simple: to make this season a little easier. What you can expect is a no-pressure, people-first philosophy, custom services for memorials that you'll remember forever, and reasonable pricing. Tommy and Bobby K. Scoggins have built a reputation over the past 30 years in the funeral business for making every family feel at home. Visit ScogginsFuneralHome.com or call 903-482-5225.
If you're a small business owner in Howe, Texas, think about everything you need to help your business succeed. You need a plan, happy customers, and an insurance agent that gets you. My name is Corey Hernandez, and I run a State Farm agency. Because I'm a small business owner myself, I understand the unique needs of local business owners. My office and I will make it easy to choose the right protection for you at the right price. Call State Farm agent Corey Hernandez at 903-893-8400 or visit InsuranceQuoteXHoma.com for your small business needs today.
Your tick wave kickoff is a bounding ball going to be taken and fell upon at the 24-yard line as over on the far side, I believe it might have been Colton Little who was unable to pick it up straight, or no, that was Bryce Crosby. And then he smartly just fell on it at the 25-yard line. So if I said, and we'll give you your hit exterior scoring drive recap, if I said one team is going to score first on one play 78 yards, you just said that was Howe. And the other team was going to score on a 12-play 89-yard drives and take 5:29 off the clock. You just said that was
Bells.
Flip it around. It's the other way around.
Yep.
And here comes Howe again with the football after their 12-play drive a moment ago. 1st and 10. Haley, handoff. Rattler, no, he pulls it out. Swing pass out to Braden Ulmer again. He's got the 30. Flag down, and that's not good. They're trying to strip it away from Ulmer, but he has enough for a first down. But I believe this is going to go against Howe.
It's holding on Colin Murphy.
Yeah, Murphy was on the outside receiver trying to hold to give Ulmer some space and he just held on too long.
So it's a spot foul. We'll see where this took place. I'm sure it's right at the line of scrimmage thereabouts. It's a hold, and y'all are correct, as you always are. Blizzard is always spot on. So we'll back it up. Caroline, the Night Furniture sideline reporter down there, how's it going? What do we got? Uh-oh. We need maybe new batteries or something. Got a brand new.
Is that our window?
I don't know. So back up to the, where are we at? The 16? 15-yard line. And here's Haley in trouble, rolling out right. On the move, he's going to tuck it and run. He's going to probably gain about 6 or 7 of that back up to the 20-yard line thereabouts.
Yeah, Haley dropped back. There was nobody open. And a year ago, I'm not sure he would have been able to outrun some of the defenders there on that one. He did a good job of, when he felt the pressure, was able to run and able to outrun some people. His running speed has improved over the last year.
7 yards for Haley on the scramble there. It's 2nd down and about 13 for Howe. And Rattler will stand to the left side of Haley. Jones up top, all alone, 3 receivers near side. Rattler does get the handoff, and he's met at the line of scrimmage and driven backwards hard. So nothing doing so far right there. And matter of fact, he's going to lose a little bit. Rattler is back to the 20-yard line. Give him a 2-yard loss. As Bells was right there.
These linebackers are hitting, and they're just good textbook tackles. Brock Baker with the tackle there. We've seen Kohler High earlier. We've seen Bryson Thompson made some good hits, and not a lot of broken tackles by the Bulldogs. There's Haley back to pass here, rolling to his left, looking downfield,
trying to find Murphy, and it goes in and out of his hands. So that was 3rd and long. Now Howe's going to have to boot this one away for the first time tonight, and that's not something you can do.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay.
Again, they're getting some pressure on Haley, and he's not comfortable in the pocket. He's having to move out and use his feet and try to find receivers downfield when he moves out of the pocket.
It's 4th and very long. 15 for the Howe Bulldogs, and they'll have to punt it away with 2 receivers ready to return this thing. Jones's punt is a high, wobbly kick, going to bounce at the 45 and go over the head of Bells, and another nice roll. He had this last week at Gunner where it just rolls and rolls and rolls, and this one will take a 19-yard roll all the way to the 21-yard line. A great punt by Jones, and that is such a weapon.
Man, I wonder if that's just by design, what he's doing when he punch that ball and able to get that good bounce, because that flips the field entirely.
That was huge. Caroline, our Night Furniture sideline reporter, we haven't had a chance to really talk to you. I hope we can hear you. How's it going down there?
It's no, it really is good. It kind of feels like Leonard when we were so nervous, but I don't know. It's going to be okay. We're going to be okay.
Here is a handoff up the middle for the first time tonight, and he escapes also. Good for about 6 or 7 yards, and now a flag comes down at the end. It was a run on the far side, but I believe that was Brock Baker on the carry, but let's check the flag.
It's going to be a personal foul on Bo Stevens.
Is it a face mask, perhaps? Personal foul, or?
Baker was Matt Hayes already had him down on the tackle, and then Bo Stevens jumped on top of him after the play.
Well, you can't have that, because that'll take the ball near midfield now.
And that was a good run. I don't think they quite got the first down, maybe 8 or 9 yard run. But tackle on the 15, and that brings up to the 43-yard line.
Not a good start for the Howe defense. As now Malin Walker into the game on defense.
A lot of misdirection in the slot T offense. You got to play assignment football.
Walker as a defensive end. Here is a handoff to Baker on the left side. He's going to gain 5 near midfield to the 48-yard line.
Just a quick hitter to Baker. Baker, who's got 2,863 yards on his career, trying to get to 3,000.
Second down and 5. As Bell's trying to settle in now on offense. They popped one early.
Hines just limped off the field for Bells.
Well, that's not good for Bells, but they have an array of replacements. Not as much as Gunner, but they do have some replacements. Here's a handoff, a quick hitter up the middle. That's Grady Waldrop, who breaks free. And he's finally drugged down on the Howe side inside the 30 at about the 25-yard line. And Waldrop was shot out of a cannon right over right guard.
Waldrop, he gets the ball so quickly, he runs hard for one thing, and so he's barely touched about the second level, and he's tough to bring down. And they're already inside the 30-yard line on big gainer there for Waldrop.
26 yards on the carry for Waldrop, right over right tackle, 1st and 10. Left to right goes Bells, handoff Waldrop again. This time left tackle, he's brought down at the line of scrimmage. A nice play there by Garen Langford. And Bells Panther is down and finally comes up to his feet, but walking off the field it looks like Austin May, perhaps, and it is Austin May.
Can y'all hear me? Okay.
Go ahead, Caroline.
Oh, I was just testing to make sure.
Okay. 2nd down and 8 for Bells, left to right. Bringing in the play for the Panthers is Hayden Allen. And they hustle to the line of scrimmage. Jacob Aaron, the quarterback, goes under center, and now whistle before this one can get underway. It was 2nd down and 8. Let's see if they back this one up.
Yeah, it's a false start going to be on Bells. Lane Kendrick, who is the backup wingback, went in motion, and then a lineman jumped, so some miscommunication on the line there.
So that's the thing with the slot T. You don't want to. Oh, it's against Howe.
Excuse me. I stand corrected.
Whoa.
Offsides against Howe.
Wow. So instead of the 26, it'll be the 19.
Jake, did you see offsides too? Or false
No,
start?
I saw that even the ref called false start.
So now whistles before this play gets underway. It was 2nd down and a long 3. But let's check to see what this is.
Blake, what are you seeing?
On the last one, the ref on our sideline did the false start motion. This one was a false start to me, too.
We haven't seen an official call.
They're going to back this one up.
Okay. So you go up 5 on the offsides and go back on 5 on the false start.
Interesting. So back to the, where are we at? The 24-yard line. So 2nd down and 8 again. And once again, it's Allen bringing in the play. Big boys up front for Bells. Jackson Kincaid, one of them. Here's a handoff right side. I think that's Waldrop again. Close to a 1st down. Not at it, but at the 19-yard line. Needs to get to about the 17 for a 1st.
One thing about slot T, just for our listeners, is they get in the huddle and then they rush to the line and then they go. There's no walking to the line and pointing out audibles and coverages. It's come up to the line and you go.
A lot of misdirection in the backfield. Waldrop moved a little bit early. No, and now there's the flag. And Bells has the first down, but let's check the flag and see. I thought Waldrop moved out of his backfield position just a step too early. We'll check and see.
Something looked off. A lineman looked like he moved. Waldrop looked like he moved maybe a step after that or before that.
It's going to be against Bells. It was Waldrop. So instead of a first down run for Bells, they'll back it up, and it'll be third down and about 8 for the Panthers. But they've been able to chew up yards on the ground here.
And time now. 40 seconds to go. And Coach West is chewing on the official on the far side near his sideline.
And now the play comes in. Checking in is Dawson Hensley. And here come the Bells Panthers on 3rd and 8. End around reverse. The ball's on the turf, and he has to fall on it. It was a miss handoff. It fell out of the gut of Lane Kendrick. Again, Hines out of the game for the moment. Kendrick came in the backup slot back. And now it's 4th down and about 13 or 14 after the loss. That's huge. 10-yard loss. And that's the end of the first quarter. We're going to take it real quick. 7-7. We've got a pretty good football game here. We'll be right back.
At Grayson Cullen Electric Cooperative, GCEC, we have been around for over 80 years and are governed by 7 principles: open and voluntary membership, democratic member control, members' economic participation, autonomy and independence, education, training, and information, cooperation among cooperatives, and concern for community. One of our communities is Howe, Texas, and GCEC is proud to support the Howe Bulldogs.
This is Michelle Castle with Guild Mortgage, welcoming you to Howe Bulldogs football. Guild has been delivering on the promise of home to hundreds of thousands of people just like you for over 60 years. With a big heart and a desire to serve, we're committed to making life better in our communities. This is where we live, and we're committed to building it with you.
Guild Mortgage Company, Equal Housing Opportunity Company, NMLS number 3274. Michelle Castle, NMLS number 231122. Branch address 714 North Travis Street, Sherman, Texas 75090. All loans subject to underwriter approval. Terms and conditions apply. Subject to change without notice.
Big play coming up right here as we switch sides. Bells now moves, headed north. 4th down and 13 for the Bells Panthers. And they're going to throw for the first time tonight. Aaron looking downfield. He's got a man wide open, but overshoots him at the 2-yard line. And Howe takes over. And we've got not Air Zagleski, we've got Air Harvey now, the defensive coordinator. Boy, he was very excited. He gives a big high five to a lot of his players as they come off the field, and now Howe will take over going the other way from their own 29-yard line, 28-yard line.
It was an intriguing call because on 4th down they would go for it if it was close. Obviously they're in Howe territory, but they're behind the sticks. It was 4th and 13, so they had to pass it and went ahead and went for it and overshot the receiver on the play-action pass.
Coming in late is Rattler. He'll finally run to the right side of Haley. Low snap. Haley rolls out right, looking down the field, fires it down the field, wide open. Huff makes the catch. That's Ulmer at the 42. And that'll move the sticks. So mark it at the 41.
I think Ulmer had his eyes, Haley had his eyes on Ulmer downfield as he went to his right and then caught him right at the sidelines where only he could catch it or it goes out of bounds.
1st and 10 for Howe at the 41. Just shy of midfield. 2 receivers at the bottom. Haley looks left side where there's 2 receivers there. And a catch is made by Huff for about a yard. As he tried to turn around, and right there was in his face.
That was Colin Murphy.
Was it Murphy on the catch? It's way over there. It's hard for me to see. I am Mr. Magoo. Everybody knows that. 42-yard line. So it's 2nd down and 9. And they look to the side. It's been an interesting game so far. Yeah, 7-7. You like that?
I like it. Give the Bulldogs a chance. Keep them in it right now.
Haley pulls it out of the gutter. Rattler throws swing pass out to Ulmer, who's met at the line of scrimmage. He'll put his shoulder down and gain a yard perhaps, or at least back to the line of scrimmage, and they'll mark him at the 42. So no gain. Howe yet to fire it really deep. They hit Ulmer on a streaking pass, but he did most of the work on the big gainer. 3 receivers now on the far side. Cooper Jones down here by himself.
Hines is back out there. He's kind of limping at free safety right now.
Rattler moves to the left side of Haley. Howe moving left to right. Haley rolls out left, looking downfield. Has nothing, comes back right, still dancing, still nowhere to go, fires it, looking for his receiver and making the catch, I believe, or was he out of bounds? Right past the first down marker.
He didn't catch it either. He dropped it.
Okay.
But he was out of bounds.
It was Huff, his intended receiver, and now Haley and company are going to have to punt it away.
Yeah, drop. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Yeah, drop back, went to his left, and did some dancing back there, trying to find somebody open. Huff tried to come back on the play and hit him right along the sideline, but couldn't hang on to it on that far Bell sideline.
2 vaunted offenses going toe-to-toe tonight, but this game's been about the defense.
Yeah, both defenses really preparing for the offense, especially for these 2 potent offenses.
4th down and 9, Jones to punt it away. It's a high, straight-up kick, not very far. End over end, going to take a bounce backwards towards Bells, and it'll be killed by Bryce Crosby at the 42-yard line.
Down by Bryce Crosby. Bells 42-yard line.
So good field position for Bells.
Bo Stevens was down there talking to the official, saying it hit, I think hit a Bells player, he thought. The official wasn't buying it.
So Bells will start at their own 42. There's 9:54 on the second quarter clock, and here come the Panthers in all white, heading right to left towards the concession stand at Bulldog Stadium. Aaron is going to keep it himself around the right side. He turned around, and that's a great play in the backfield by Bo Stevens to make the tackle. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage and maybe get a yard, or they'll move it back. They're going to spot this thing. Looks like right at the line of scrimmage. So no gain, even though the down marker is asleep apparently.
Yeah, the down marker gave him a yard, but the ball is back at the line of scrimmage.
Do I have that right? Maybe he did get a yard. So this will be a handoff right side. Pretty good gaining there. I believe that's Waldrop on the carry. Near midfield to the 49-yard line. And Ethan Mayo will check in. And Michael Riddle will check out.
All right, you're at 3rd and 3 at your own 49-yard line. I can guarantee you if they don't get the first down, they're going to go for it on 4th down.
3rd down and 3, handoff, and that's going to be Waldrop getting the first down over right tackle. And they move the sticks. That's what Bells does. They love to do that. Just run right at you. Everybody in Texoma knows what's coming.
Well, it's like Coach Brian said. He goes, during the coaches show it's the kind of offense that everybody knows what you're doing. We're telling you what we're going to do. It's just whether or not you can stop it. But there's a lot of different options, a lot of misdirection. There's a lot to this offense, and it's hard to stop, hard to prepare for.
A new set of downs for Bells. They sprint to the line of scrimmage. Handoff right side. It appears to be Waldrop again. 5 yards to the 40. Right over the butt of Jackson Kincaid.
I think so. They're riding that right side of the line. They're seeing something there, and they're starting to get about 3, 4, 5 yards a pop now.
On the defensive front for Howe is Malin Walker, the defensive end. Bryce Crosby, defensive tackle. Ethan Mayo, the nose guard. Tank Turner, a defensive tackle. And I can't see the other end. Here is a toss, and that's Brock Baker. Shot out of a cannon. Kiss him goodbye. That is a 40-yard touchdown by Baker on one of the few carries so far tonight, and Bells takes their first lead of the night.
Toss on that left side, and a big hole opened up on the left tackle, and I think maybe the tight end over there, maybe Cooper Smith was on that side too, made a big opening for Baker, and there was nobody over there hardly. He was barely touched.
5 plays, 58 yards for your hit exterior scoring drive recap. Aaron, handoff, Baker, right side, trying to get the 2-point conversion. No signal yet. Still no signal. You would think they would have signaled by now.
They're meeting in the middle here, the officials.
If you got to talk about it that long,
it's no good.
It's no good. So Howe holds them on the 2-point conversion, and it's a 13-7 lead for Bells with 7:36 left to go in the second. We'll be right back.
Hi, this is Matt Linder with Linda Hamill Insurance. Your home field is where everything happens. And I'm not talking about Bulldog Stadium. We're talking about your home, your car, and your life. For over 30 years, we've been offering bundled discounts on home, auto, and life. We offer Germania and Progressive insurance protection, as well as many others to suit your needs. Call us today at 903-965-4098 or come by and see us at 106 North Broadway in Bells, Texas. That's 903-965-4098.
Who's your local plumber? Brother Plumber. It's good to know someone local and someone you can trust when your home or office drops the ball.
Mainline break, 15 yards.
Brother Plumber is plumb professional and serves not only Howe, but also all of Grayson County. And you can save yourself 10% if you mention Go Bulldogs. Visit us online at brotherplumber.com. We'd love to help. Brother Plumber is one call away at 469-968-4487. Visit us online at brotherplumber.com. Remember, Go Bulldogs.
Your Tech Wave kickoff is going to be banked deep near the end zone. Jones has to pick it up at the 1, spinning out of a tackle. He's going to be down at the 10-yard line. That ball just would not go into the end zone. And now a late flag comes in, and a Bells Panther is down at about the 4-yard line with his helmet off.
Yeah, he took a big shot from Colin Murphy there. I don't know what the flag was for because it was thrown well after all that had happened.
And that ball bounced at the goal line, and it was like a wall was there to knock it down.
I can't believe that didn't go into the end zone.
That was a perfect kick, if we're being honest.
My goodness, I've never seen one that looks like it's going to obviously dart in the end zone and just stop right there and take a sideways bounce.
And Cooper Jones had no choice but to field it, and by that time, he had Panthers breathing down his neck.
Had he not fielded it, it would have been very bad for Howe. It's going to be holding against Howe to make things worse. So that'll be half the distance, or will it?
Yeah, it'll be at the 5-yard line.
So it'll be at the 5-yard line. So Howe backed up at their own 5. Got to go 95 to try to tie it or take the lead here. Right now there's 7:32 on the clock. It's been a quick game.
Yeah, that clock's moving.
And the injured young man, I'm trying to find the number over there.
It looks like it's Kendrick.
Lane Kendrick.
Yeah, Lane Kendrick. So they're losing their slot backs.
Yeah. Spencer Hines was starter, then Lane Kendrick came in. Now he's hurt. Of course, we saw did Hines come back on offense? We saw him on defense.
We'll find out.
He was not in on offense on the last drive. He's still limping
on
the field
limping.
right
now.
now.
You can tell he's limping. Yeah.
He got retaped up on the sideline, though, when he did go out.
So it'll be 1st and 10 left to right for Howe as they come out on the field on offense. Backed up at their own 5-yard line after the great Tech Wave kickoff. Again, your hit exterior scoring drive recap, 5 plays, 53 yards for Bells to give them a 13-7 lead. Haley in the gun will stand with his toes on the white stripe of the front of the end zone. He'll stand in between the H and the O in Howe on the right hash. And this will be a handoff to Rattler up the middle and punched in the mouth at the line of scrimmage. He's going to be good to get back to the line of scrimmage. And they'll mark him at the 5. There's just been
flag as well.
There's been no room to run.
It really hasn't. Again, and there's holes. They just get swallowed up pretty quickly. And this Bells Panthers defense really swarm tackles really well.
I think Howe was a legal formation there.
The sideline warning.
Oh, for Bells.
Yeah, sideline warning against Bells. Okay.
So 2nd down, they'll give him a yard to the 6. So it'll be 2nd down and 9. I don't know how he got a yard out of that, to be honest. We're starting to take some time here. The clock rolling at 6:40, and Howe's content with letting it roll down a little bit. Haley stands at the 1-yard line. Handoff Rattler again up the middle again. Nowhere to go, really. Maybe a yard. Just trying to get some breathing room and get out of the shadow of their own end zone. Ball at the 7.
You know, and Rattler, he's getting the ball and hitting the holes pretty quickly. I mean, he's not stutter stepping around. He's just hitting them quickly, but they're doing a good job of filling the gaps. They're linebackers for Bells. 3rd down and a long 6, maybe 7 right here, as Howe again content with letting this thing roll down a little bit. 14 on the play clock. 6:01 on the game clock. Haley wants to throw. Swing pass coming for Ulmer, and he'll be close to a first down, but I don't think he got it at the 15-yard line. And they'll actually spot him back further than that at about the 12. And the punt team will come on again. It's a quick wide receiver middle screen to Ulmer. And I like it, get it to Ulmer in space. But again, the Panthers do such a good job of converging on the receiver. And they don't allow a lot of broken tackles. They're pretty good at tackling. And not a lot of yards they have to catch.
Brock Baker back to return this one. I think they're going to try to bring the house right here. Jones does get off a low line drive kick, bounces at the 49 on the house side, now over to the other. Brock Baker picks it up on a hop, and he falls forward over on the house side near the 41-yard line. And Bells will take over with 5:02 on the clock.
Well, again, it's worth mentioning. I kind of mention this every week, just seems like, but 5:02 left in the first half. Bells gets the ball in the second half to start. So it's probably important. It's important right here for Howe to get a stop and not let them get back-to-back possessions.
Yeah, it's huge.
Because that's when they start to really take their advantage in the game, is start bleeding the clock and limit your possessions.
Bells, handoff right side, in trouble, in jail. That's going to be a yard loss. The running back there was Easton Helgren. And they're running out of slot backs, it appears.
Yeah, that's the 3rd string there, and he gets on the end around, and right there where the Bulldogs were sitting there waiting for him in the backfield. And good job of the Bulldogs to swarm tackle Helgren in the backfield.
2nd down and 12. That's what you needed on first down. And again, Bell's moving quickly up front. There's the flag. They moved a little early on the first play. The Howe crowd wanted it, didn't get it, but they get it right there. And Bell's going backwards right here. Instead of 2nd down and 12, it'll be 2nd down and 17. And so back it up 5 to the 47-yard line.
Well, that's what you want to do. You said earlier, you want to win first down, and then here's 2nd down. They get called for the false start, so that really puts them behind the chains, behind the sticks, and puts them in a 2nd down and long position. Make them have to possibly pass the ball.
Jacob Aaron, the quarterback for Bells, having a conversation right there with official Paul Martin. 2nd down and 17. Aaron, toss, near side. Brock Baker breaks out of a tackle, but he's going to be gang tackled and swarmed by the rest of the Bulldogs, who are right there to bring him down.
Pitch it to Baker. He kind of fumbled it for just like half a second. Tristan Williams came firing through the backfield, and it slowed him down. Baker stayed on his feet, and then Ulmer came, and Tristan Williams got back up and finished him off. And this is what you want now. 3rd and long, 3rd and what? Call it
right about 20, just about.
18. Yeah.
And here is Aaron. They give it to Brock Baker on the turnaround on the other side, the draw, and he's going to be brought down. A great open field tackle by G-Force. And it's 4th down and long.
You thought he was going to go back to pass on a play action, then he just hands off to Baker, and great open field tackler.
I think that was an amazing open field tackle by Langford.
Langford's one of the best open field tacklers on this team. Him and Austin Haley are tremendous open field tacklers.
Man, I'm telling you, if Howe's able to win this football game, put a star by that play right there by G-Force. The ball's at the 42-yard line.
Because if he doesn't make that play, he had a lot of green pasture in front of him.
4th down and 12. Aaron wants to throw. Turn around, looking left side, deep ball under pressure. Walker was right there. Now he's flushed out of the pocket. He may run and jump over Tristan Williams. Close to a first down. He jumps out of bounds. Shy of the first down, and Howe will take over. He was flushed out of the pocket by Walker, who was right in his face.
And it was great coverage downfield. He pump faked a couple of times. Didn't see anybody open. Bryce Crosby was coming at him, and then he tried to jump over Tristan Williams, I believe. and got pushed out of bounds a few yards short. Good coverage downfield on the back end by the Bulldogs.
Howe has 3:02 on the clock to try to tie it up before our Bullard Construction halftime show.
Tremendous job by this Bulldog defense.
Just outstanding play by the defense. It's 1st and 10 for Howe, moving left to right. From their own 33-yard line. Right hash, Cooper Jones checks into the game. He'll go to the near side slot. Handoff Rattler. Left side, bounces it out, chased down from behind. Now he comes back near side. Grabbed by the face mask, no flag, and he is down in the backfield. That's going to be a loss of about 5 or 6. I thought he was clearly grabbed by the face mask, but perhaps I was wrong. They'll spot it back to the 28.
He had the right guard, Brady McCollum, pulling, trying to get behind him, and then bounced his way out, tried to come reverse field the other way. A couple of Panthers got their hands on him, and I thought a face mask too. Some of the coaches on the House sideline wanted one as well.
Rattler has just had nowhere to go tonight. Absolutely nowhere to go. Back to the 2 receivers set on either side. Rattler moves to the left side of Haley. He wants to throw it. Drop straight back. 3-step drop. Looks to throw. Now he's under pressure. Fires it down the field for Rattler. In and out of his hands and incomplete at the 42-yard line. Would have been a yard shy of the first down if he were able to make that catch. Ulmer thought it might have been for him. But it falls incomplete, and it's 3rd down and 15 for Howe. Clock stops at 2:08.
They're only rushing 3. And and the offensive line's giving Howe some time, giving Haley some time, but they're still getting through after a few seconds, and the coverage on the back end is great by Bells.
Pressure coming from the right side of the defense, left side of the offense. Bo Stevens playing the tackle over there. And now it appears a timeout's been called by Howe. We'll take 1-2. We'll be right back right after this.
Independent Financial is proud to support Howe ISD and their hardworking students, teachers, and staff. We share your vision for a brighter tomorrow and a championship season. For every challenge, Independent Financial has you covered. Our team can suggest a wide range of financial products to make your personal banking fast and easy. Plus, we have the know-how to deliver the game-changing business banking solutions. Independent Financial, your community in your corner. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Hello, this is Rosie the Skunk for Atmos Energy. You might think I make a bad smell, but it's nothing compared to the rotten egg smell of a gas leak, because that could be dangerous. If you think you smell, see, or hear signs of a leak, don't do anything that might cause a spark. Leave immediately. Then call 911 and Atmos Energy. There's no gray area here. When dealing with gas leaks, it's black and white. For more information, visit atmosenergy.com/gas safety.
Caroline, are we able to talk to you down there on the sidelines? Nope. We got to get a new battery or something. Maybe we just, I don't know. It's always something every week, isn't it? It's
really
one thing. Last week it was the internet. Here comes Howe real quickly out on the line of scrimmage. 3rd down and a long way to go, about 15. Man goes in motion is Ryan Huff from left to right. He'll sit down as a tight end. Haley drops back 3 steps, looks down the field, looking for Jones down the field, and he makes the catch. No, it goes in and out of his hands, and there's a flag down. Howe wants interference. We'll see what they call. But Jones had the ball in and out of his hands. We'll see what the flag is. It's in the area of the defenders and Cooper Jones.
Well, they brought in an extra tight end on each end to give maximum pass protection for Haley, and then try to throw it down to Cooper to give him a 50-50 ball. But there are about 3 jerseys there, and he caught it, but just right along the sidelines.
And he dropped it right out of bounds.
Yeah.
Pass interference on Bells.
It's kind of what you're wanting. See if Cooper can get up and take that out of the air or draw the pass interference, and he did that.
I don't know who to give the credit for right there, whether it's head coach Lance Bryan or offensive coordinator Zach Cater. Either one, both of you, I don't care. Great play call.
Absolutely. On a 3rd and long, a real bailout for the Bulldogs.
Wow, that was tremendous. If Howe's able to punch it in here, put a star by that one too. 1st and 10, left to right. from their own 44. Haley wants to throw. Pretty good pressure. Rolls out of the pocket now to the left. Throws deep ball down the field looking for Huff, and it's out of bounds. It'll be incomplete and stop the clock with 1:52.
Again, they're only rushing 3, dropping 8, and there's just nobody open right now.
He should have ran that when he had the first down.
He had plenty of room over there. He did. He threw it 30 yards on a rope to Huff. And Dale West not happy with the official over there. As Howe comes back to the line of scrimmage, 2nd down and 10. 2 receivers either side. Haley drops back, bubble screen to Cooper Jones. Cooper Smith hits him right in the face. And now a late flag comes in. I think that's going to be against Bells.
It's going to be on Brock Baker, might be targeting. I don't know how they ruled that in high school, though, but he definitely led with his helmet.
Jones lost a yard on the bubble screen because Cooper Smith, it was Cooper versus Cooper right there. Smith didn't wrap up. Jones kept going, but as the Blizzard said, Baker popped him, and it might have been a target. Cooper Jones is talking to head coach Lance Bryan right now, and while they're sorting the flags.
I think they are ejecting him.
No. Wow. Oh, my goodness.
The way that the ref's talking to Brock.
Oh, my goodness. That is...
And Brock is starting to walk over there.
That is unbelievable.
Yeah, that's their best player.
Oh, my goodness. That's other than all the Gunner players, that may be the player of the district.
Targeting.
Dale West comes out to the numbers.
Wow.
And he's not happy about that. Obviously, he's going to lose the best player on his team. And Howe's going to get 15 yards.
I don't want to see anybody get ejected or anything, but it was the right call, though. He did lead with the crown of his helmet on.
Boy, I hate that for any kid.
Yeah,
I hate that for any kid.
I hate that for Brock.
And Howe's going to have the football in great field position here on the Bell side of the field at the 41-yard line. Man, oh, man. Man, oh, man, that is a huge turning point in this football game, perhaps. Howe needs to take advantage of this with 1:45 left to go before the half. So now at the Bell's 41-yard line.
So they lose their lead tackler and their leading rusher. And Coach West over there getting an explanation.
My goodness. That is a massive loss for the Bells Panthers. And West is extremely upset over there, as you know, any head coach would be if they lost their best player in that situation, and he is really animated over there. He takes a walk back to their sidelines. 1st and 10 for Howe at the Bells 41-yard line. What an opportunity for the Bulldogs. Clock starts winding. 1:41. Here comes Howe. Haley in the gun, Rattler to his left. He gets the handoff coming near side, trying to find the corner, does for a moment, gets the 35-yard line. He's got 6 yards up to the 35.
Rattler with the handoff just goes around that right side.
Howe quickly moves back to the football.
Finally able to get some yards there on the ground for the Bulldogs.
3 receivers left side. Haley drops back 3 steps, looks right for Jones. Deep ball near the end zone. Jones goes up and it goes through his hands. And a flag is thrown again. And Howe's going to have another pass interference call go their way. So give them 15 with 1:05 on the clock.
Working on Tucker Kreitz over there. And there's a lot of hand back and forth, some hand battling. And I guess Kreitz got called for the hold there as he went for the pass for the jump ball.
You know, they're doubling Cooper Jones on the near side.
Yeah, they had a safety coming over as well. But Kreitz, I believe, is going to be called for the pass interference. He was the one in coverage.
Go ahead.
Can you hear me? Yeah, he was holding Cooper, just pulling on his jersey the entire time, running down the field.
Holding against Bells. So that's a 10-yard penalty.
The Bulldogs are getting yards from penalties on this drive.
So now the ball's spotted at the 25-yard line.
They got the targeting. They got a personal foul.
8th play of the drive coming up for Howe. Left to right, 3 receivers left side. Jones again, all alone at the bottom. Handoff, Rattler no. Haley kept it, and he's got Williams across the middle. Williams to the 10-yard line and brought down there. 1st down for Howe as Haley Houdini does it again as he pulled it out of the gutter Rattler.
Yeah, the RPO affected the Rattler, rolled to went to his left and then just kind of dumped it off to Williams. They're in the middle of the field and Williams able to get some yards up the catch. Just a few.
We need to find out why Williams is in at receiver. Haley rolling out right, looking down the field, firing it towards the end zone, back of the end zone and out of bounds. No chance for a play back there. Clock at 44 seconds.
Holding on Roman.
Garbrandt, the sophomore, getting penalized there. That'll be a 10-yard penalty, which will push him back to the 10. That's big. You got to, at this point, if nothing else, get points, right?
You got to get something to keep. Again, that's when your possessions are basically cut in half during this game because of how long Bells keep the ball. So you want to get something out of this. Obviously, you want to get a touchdown to go up by one if you can make the extra point.
I need to find out about Ryan Huff and see if he's okay. He's not in the game. Snap back to Haley, hand off to Rattler, trying to find the near edge. Can't get the corner, trying to wrestle out of a tackle, can't do it at the 22-yard line. He's going to lose a couple. Clock still at 44 seconds. It never moved.
Huff is sitting on the bench with Bryce Crosby down here.
I saw Huff get hurt on one of the kickoffs earlier.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, Peyton Washburn on good pursuit on Rattler. Brought him down by the back of his jersey.
They're going to say 27 seconds on the clock as Haley wants to throw. Second down and goal. Flushed out of the pocket. Cooper Smith was up the middle, trying to heave it down the end zone. Flag down in the backfield, and the ball is incomplete in the back of the end zone.
There's 2 flags, one on Howe, one on Bells.
I think
there's a holding on one of the linemen and then a personal foul roughing the passer on Cooper Smith for Bells.
It could have been holding on Walker. I'm not sure. Yeah, it was.
Cooper Smith kind of knew he had a free hit there on Austin because it would be offsetting, in my opinion.
He came up the middle.
I think he was the one that got held.
It could be. And if he was, it was more than likely Walker. Oh, it's a chop block against Howe.
So chop block against Howe, roughing the passer against Bells, offset him, and replay the down.
So the ball will be spotted at the 22. It's still second down and goal from the 22.
You got 2 timeouts in your back pocket. Howe does.
14 seconds on the clock. Johnny Garcia was outstanding in pregame. He nailed a 35-yarder, which would have cleared by about 45, but he had the wind at his back. If they kicked it from here, it'd be about a 40-yarder. Haley rolls out right, but whistles before we get underway. Timeout bells. We'll take one real quick. We'll be right back.
Austin Haley's coming to the sidelines.
Oh, no. Let's hope Haley's okay. Caroline, can you get the mic in there?
Coach, I'm starving. I can't keep going.
But you're the starting quarterback.
Coach, I can't help it. I need something quick.
Hang on. Doreen, quick. Go to Sonic, get a burger, tots, and a shake.
Make it an M&M blast.
Doreen, make that an M&M blast. Large.
Coach, I'm sorry, but Sonic of Howe is where you get great food and big smiles. It's not just good.
I know, it's Sonic good. Hang on, Doreen, bring me some onion rings. Those things really bring the hammer down.
Here's some things to never mess with if you're not a trained professional. Caging a bulldog. Removing copperheads. And electricity. Don't get shocked. Call Rapid Electric. Rapid Electric is here for all your electrical needs. Just like you wouldn't try to become a pro boxer or president. Not a joke. You need a pro to keep your electricity humming. Don't get shocked. Rapid Electric serves the Grayson County area. Call them at 903-421-8100.
We are in a ball game. This is a dogfight, boys and girls. This is a dogfight.
This is a good game to be a part of.
Howe with a chance to take the lead here. 14 seconds on the clock. It's second and goal from the 22. 3 receivers left. Jones by himself at the bottom. Haley rolls out right. Now looks backside, setting it up for Rattler, and he overthrew him by a step. He couldn't reach it. The ball falls incomplete. 9 seconds on the clock, and it's third down and goal from the 22. You don't see Haley miss too many of those.
Yeah, Rattler.
And Rattler had some room.
He had some space there, and then the defense is really keying in on Cooper
Just
that
missed
last
that
one there.
Boy, that one was a. You'd like to have that one back, wouldn't you? Two receivers either side, 3rd down and goal. The snap back to Haley. He wasn't ready for it. He rolls out right, looking down the field. Going to heave a jump ball in the end zone. Jones couldn't bring it down, and it's incomplete. There were 2 seconds on the clock when it went out of Jones's hands. It says 0 right now, but there were 2 seconds on the clock.
Coach West is trying to get his players. Let's just go to the locker room.
There were 2 seconds on the clock when the ball went off of Jones's hands.
Yeah, Coach West is trying to get his team off the field before they can even.
They also didn't start the clock on one play either, so.
Well, they moved it down to 27 seconds, though.
Oh, okay.
So they did take time off the clock on the 1. But there should be 2 seconds on the clock.
They put 2 back on. And Coach West is unhappy about that, too. And now we get a timeout called by Howe, I believe.
So Howe with one last prayer here to try to get some points out of this. Now, if you're thinking Johnny Rodriguez and a field goal, you're looking at a 40-yarder into the wind. I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, I think I would have liked to seen Howe run the ball on 3rd down there to get a little closer since it is in the wind and the defense that Bells was set up in.
We're going to take a quick 30-second timeout. We'll be right back.
Baker Air Conditioning and Heating has been in business in Howe for over 50 years. They even predate the volleyball program and the marching band. Norman Dickey was the new coach when they opened up. Baker Air Conditioning and Heating has been able to serve the good people of Howe and surrounding areas because, well, they're good people. If you've been told you need expensive repairs, get a second opinion with Baker Air Conditioning and Heating. Call 903-532-6255 or see them at 215 Denny Street. Baker Air Conditioning and Heating.
2 seconds on the clock. Howe with a 4th and goal from the 22-yard line, and Del West is still in the ears of the officials. Out of the Dallas chapter, it's Paul Martin, the referee, the umpire, James Manuel, the head linesman, Kenneth Owens, the line judge is Adrian Grimes, the back judge, James Caldwell, the field judge is Derek Turner, and the side judge is Jonathan Williams. And we're just about ready for action as Coach West is still scrambling off the field, upset. 2 seconds on the clock. One prayer right here for Howe. And now a timeout's been called by the Bulldogs. We'll take one. We'll be right back.
Baker Air Conditioning and Heating has been in business in Howe for over 50 years. They even predate the volleyball program and the marching band. Norman Dickey was the new coach when they opened up. Baker Air Conditioning and Heating has been able to serve the good people of Howe and surrounding areas because, well, they're good people. If you've been told you need expensive repairs, get a second opinion with Baker Air Conditioning and Heating. Call 903-532-6255 or see them at 215 Denny Street. Baker Air Conditioning and Heating.
Welcome back. We have a barn burner in Howe, Texas. Howe is going to have one basically free play right here to try to get in the end zone. What do you do right here?
I wonder if they're going to try to go to Cooper Jones. They've done that the last couple of pass plays. Nobody's open downfield, and they just try to go to the back of the end zone and see if Cooper can make a 50-50 jump ball.
The half cannot end on a defensive penalty.
So therefore, maybe you get you 15 extra yards to get a little bit closer. Maybe draw the PI.
Here we go. Grab your socks and pull. 4th down and goal. Haley in the gun with a Rattler to his right. 2 seconds on the clock before the half. Howe with a free play. Need to get in the end zone. Cooper Jones to the left. Haley rolls that way, looks that way, throws it deep in the end zone for Rattler, a jump ball. And did he come down with it? No, it's incomplete. And there's no flag. Looking for Rattler instead of Jones there on the backside of the end zone. And we go to the house with a ball game in Howe, Texas, and the Bells are out and the people are on their feet. It's 13-7. Bells in the lead. They're getting the football first when we start the second half. Howe Bulldogs, you got to feel pretty good about what's happened so far.
You just want a fighting chance. Just keep yourself in the game. That's what Howe does. You let them stick around, and you give a chance for the upset, giving the Bulldogs more confidence.
Bells comes in at number 5 in the state. Howe trying to hang around. We got a great halftime show for you. In Bandsman of the Week, you'll love that interview with Miss Kennedy. And we've got our volleyball spotlight of the week also, and you're going to love that one as well. We'll see you on the backside.
Bullard Construction is owned by former Bulldog Jonathan Bullard. If you're in need of skid steer land clearing, dirt work, a pad site built, construction cleanup, fencing, automatic gates, or even more, contact Bullard Construction at 903-267-9701. They'll give you a free estimate. Bullard Construction is locally owned and operated in Howe, Texas, but serves the North Texas region. Call Bullard Construction at 903-267-9701. 903-267-9701.
Here's some things to never mess with if you're not a trained professional. Caging a bulldog. Removing copperheads. And electricity. Don't get shocked. Call Rapid Electric. Rapid Electric is here for all your electrical needs. Just like you wouldn't try to become a pro boxer or president. Not a joke. You need a pro to keep your electricity humming. Don't get shocked. Rapid Electric serves the Grayson County area. Call them at 903-421-8100.
I'm attorney Micah Belden, an old school black and white Howe Bulldog. In criminal defense, you need someone who fights like a bulldog. Call me now if you've been investigated, arrested, or charged with a crime in North Texas. My number is 903-744-4252. We'll set up a free consultation. You will find out that I'm rough, tough, and I can't get enough. I'm board certified in criminal law by the Texas Board of Legal Specialization, Principal Office, Sherman, Texas. Visit my website at shermancriminallawyer.com.
All In Custom Gutters and Christmas Lights is proud to sponsor the Pride of Howe High School's Bandsman of the Week. Your hometown Bulldog alumni owned and operated business is here for all your seamless gutter and outdoor Christmas lights needs. Give them a call at 903-819-9183 and let them make your house shine really bright this Christmas. All In Custom Gutters and Christmas Lights. Give them a call at 903-819-9183. All In Custom Gutters and Christmas Lights.
You're listening to the Bullard Construction Halftime Show. Today's Bandsman of the Week is brought to you by All In Custom Gutters and Christmas Lights, a firefighter family-owned business. Call them at 903-819-9183. Now let's join Monty Walker with this week's Bandsman of the Week.
This week's Bandsman of the Week is Kennedy Barrett. You've always gone to school in Howe since kindergarten, is that right?
Yes, sir.
So do you remember anything about kindergarten?
Yeah, my teacher's name was Miss Crane. I always remember my favorite part about kindergarten was probably the naps, for sure.
So you're a sophomore and you play snare in the marching band and other percussion during the concert season. What's more fun?
I would say that marching snare is definitely the funnest. When you're at football games, you get to play cadences in the stand, and in the show, our part's pretty fun. You get to play all these cool rhythms.
So what got you into the snare drum?
Well, since I was young, I've always loved tapping, and my teachers would get on to me in class for tapping all the time. And then so they said, well, you should join band. So I tried it one year, and I just turned out to be good at it.
Miss Liz says you're also pretty good at being sarcastic. She loves your sense of humor, and you're always messing with people. What do you do to mess with people?
Oh, I'll be up in the stands just cracking jokes back and forth, and I'll even be on the field. We'll be marching, I'll mess up, and I'll just crack a joke while I'm out there and laugh about it and then get right back to it.
How good is this year's band performance?
I would say this year's band performance is pretty good. We're definitely getting better, and now we're heading to area this coming Saturday.
Also a great softball player, varsity catcher as a freshman last year. What was that like?
Yeah, that was pretty cool to get to be a freshman and come in and start at catcher and play all season. It was a pretty awesome season.
What other things are you involved with at Howe High School?
I manage volleyball, I play basketball, play softball, and I travel to all the football games, band or not, I go to them.
That is Kennedy Barrett, this week's Bandsman of the Week.
Today's Bandsman of the Week is brought to you by All In Custom Gutters and Christmas Lights, a firefighter family-owned business. Call them at 903-819-9183. You're listening to the Bullard Construction Halftime Show. For skid steer clearing, dirt work, and other construction, call Jonathan Bullard at 903-267-9701.
Since 2011, Scoggins Funeral Home and Crematory has walked with hundreds of families through the most overwhelming time of their lives. Their job is simple: to make this season a little easier. What you can expect is a no-pressure, people-first philosophy, custom services for memorials that you'll remember forever, and reasonable pricing. Tommy and Bobby K. Scoggins have built a reputation over the past 30 years in the funeral business for making every family feel at home. Visit ScogginsFuneralHome.com or call 903-482-5225.
Bullard Construction is owned by former Bulldog Jonathan Bullard. If you're in need of skid steer land clearing, dirt work, a pad site built, construction cleanup, fencing, automatic gates, or even more, contact Bullard Construction at 903-267-9701. They'll give you a free estimate. Bullard Construction is locally owned and operated in Howe, Texas, but serves the North Texas region. Call Bullard Construction at 903-267-9701, 903-267-9701.
You might know that State Farm agent Corey Hernandez has great service. Corey is your good neighbor after all. But did you know State Farm has surprisingly great rates too? That's right. State Farm agent Corey Hernandez is here to help you select the right protection at the right price. Corey will make sure you understand your State Farm coverages so you'll know what to expect if the unexpected happens. Call State Farm agent Corey Hernandez at 903-893-8400 or visit insurancequotetexoma.com. When you want the real deal, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
All In Custom Gutters and Christmas Lights is proud to sponsor the pride of Howe High School's Bandsman of the Week. Your hometown Bulldog alumni owned and operated business is here for all your seamless gutter and outdoor Christmas lights needs. Give them a call at 903-819-9183 and let them make your house shine really bright this Christmas. All In Custom Gutters and Christmas Lights. Give them a call at 903-819-9183. All In Custom Gutters and Christmas Lights.
You're listening to the Bullard Construction Halftime Show. Today's Lady Bulldogs Volleyball Spotlight is brought to you by Independent Financial. Now let's join Monty Walker with this week's Lady Bulldog.
This week's Lady Bulldog Spotlight is Kendall Griffin. Now, when did you start playing volleyball?
I started playing volleyball when I came to athletics in 7th grade.
Was it a natural thing for you?
Honestly, I don't remember much volleyball until I came to my freshman year, so.
Yeah, have you always gone to school in Howe?
Yes, I have.
And what do you remember about your kindergarten year?
To be honest, I don't really remember much, but Miss Smith was my teacher, so I hope she's doing well.
Do you have a favorite teacher over the years?
I've had a lot of teachers that I've really liked, but this year I really like Miss Nail a lot. She's really energetic and fun, so.
Almost everybody says Miss Nail. It's funny. So, Lady Bulldogs, what's your position and role on the team here in the volleyball team?
Well, I'm particularly an outside, but I can really play wherever the team needs me to be. I got hurt, so now I'm just strictly back row. Hopefully Friday I'll get to play a little bit of front row again, but.
Senior night just happened. You're a junior. Are you starting to realize it's going by quickly and that's going to happen for you soon?
Yes, definitely. It's gone by super quick, and it's very crazy. Last night it made me tear up a little bit, but I'm excited, so.
So you experienced a lot of success in track also. Talk about that. What's been your favorite moment in track?
Track, there's a lot of fun things that come with track. It's very laid back, but also we work really hard. My favorite moment would definitely have to be making it to state. We switched some things up at the last minute, and it turned out in our favor, so that was super exciting.
Basketball's around the corner. How good can that team be?
Well, if we can just look ahead of us and take care of what we can take care of, we can definitely make the playoffs. We only have to beat 3 teams, so we can definitely do that.
What other things are you involved with here at Howe High School?
I'm involved in FFA. I'm going to show a heifer this year, and I'm also in NHS.
Do you name your heifer?
Her name's Wooly. It's my brother's from last year, so.
Oh, that was a good one.
She's pretty. I like her. She's super sweet.
What are the plans after Howe High School?
I plan to attend I'm doing college classes right now, so hopefully I'll graduate with my associates, and then I'll finish my 4-year degree off at OSU, and then go to law school somewhere.
All right, that is your Lady Bulldogs Spotlight, Kendall Griffin.
Today's Lady Bulldogs Volleyball Spotlight is brought to you by Independent Financial. You're listening to the Bullard Construction Halftime Show. For skid steer clearing, dirt work, and other construction, call Jonathan Bullard at 903-267-9701.
At Grayson Cullen Electric Cooperative, GCEC, we have been around for over 80 years and are governed by 7 principles: open and voluntary membership, democratic member control, members, economic participation, autonomy and independence, education, training, and information, cooperation among cooperatives, and concern for community. One of our communities is Howe, Texas, and GCEC is proud to support the Howe Bulldogs.
This is Michelle Castle with Guild Mortgage, welcoming you to Howe Bulldogs football. Guild has been delivering on the promise of home to hundreds of thousands of people just like you for over 60 years. With a big heart and a desire to serve, we're committed to making life better in our communities. This is where we live, and we're committed to building it with you.
Guild Mortgage Company, Equal Housing Opportunity Company, NMLS number 3274. Michelle Castle, NMLS number 231122. Branch address 714 North Travis Street, Sherman, Texas 75090. All loans subject to underwriter approval. Terms and conditions apply. Subject to change without notice.
Bullard Construction is owned by former Bulldog Jonathan Bullard. If you're in need of skid steer land clearing, dirt work, a pad site built, construction cleanup, fencing, automatic gates, or even more, contact Bullard Construction at 903-267-9701. They'll give you a free estimate. Bullard Construction is locally owned and operated in Howe, Texas, but serves the North Texas region. Call Bullard Construction at 903-267-9701. 903-267-9701. All In Custom Gutters and Christmas Lights is proud to sponsor the Pride of Howe High School's Bandsman of the Week. Your hometown Bulldog alumni owned and operated business is here for all your seamless gutter and outdoor Christmas lights needs. Give them a call at 903-819-9183 and let them make your house shine really bright this Christmas. All In Custom Gutters and Christmas Lights. Give them a call at 903-819-9183. All In Custom Gutters and Christmas Lights.
You're listening to the Bullard Construction Halftime Show. For skid steer clearing, dirt work, and other construction, call Jonathan Bullard at 903-267-9701. Now let's go back to the stadium with Caroline Slauson, Justin White, Jake Roberts, and Blake Burnett.
Welcome inside the booth at Bulldog Stadium. I am Caroline, Justin White here, Jake Roberts.
And Blake Burnett.
And yeah, sorry, I was the music. It is, what do we got here? We got 13-7 at the half. Bells leading Howe. So I'm just here to get your first half thoughts, Justin. It's just a lot.
Man, this is a what was I thinking about during halftime earlier was this is a back alley fight. I mean, you come in. I mean, and I don't mean that in a there's dirty plays or anything like that. It's just, I mean, every yard is hard fought. I mean, every play, you're watching every play is just, you're on the edge of your seat. These two teams are just knocking each other in the mouth. It's just who's going to be standing at the end. Who's going to catch a break. And both teams are banged up on both sides health-wise. Brock Baker is out of the game, the best player on their offense and defense for Bells. Bryce Crosby is injured. Ryan Huff is injured. And so the Bulldogs, both teams are banged up, and it's just who's going to be the toughest one on the end of this game. In your show,
and I mean, and I had heard, I'm sure you guys heard, this is going to be a physical game. They hit hard. A back alley fight is perfect. Blizz, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear y'all.
So just real quick, what are your thoughts of the first half?
I don't know if Bells is going to have enough running backs to finish the game.
We got to take advantage of what's happening.
I mean, Brock Baker ejected. I don't agree with the ejection. Should be a penalty. I agree with that, but no ejection. He's out. Lance Kendrick got hurt. He's already had his shoulder pads taken away, and Spencer Hines has not been back in the game on offense for Bells. I mean, that's two of their three best rushers right there, and they're done for the game.
Yeah, we definitely have to take advantage of. Don't want to be that person, but you know what I'm saying.
You have to take advantage of the kid being out, and Howe did not do that to end the second quarter.
No, they didn't.
And give credit to this Bells defense. Well, both defenses really, but this Bells defense. I mean, the time of possession game you would have thought would have belonged to Bells if you start when you at the beginning of this game. If you were looking at it at halftime, who had the ball the longest, but Howe has had the ball the longest, and Bells has only given up 7 points.
Yeah.
I mean, their defense has really played outstanding, and Howe has too. I mean, but the amount of time that Howe has had the ball, they've only been able to get a touchdown out of it.
I will tell you, Howe has had the ball the longest, but they don't have many yards in this game. Okay. They've been getting some pass interference penalties to keep drives alive. Yardage, Bells is outgaining Howe probably 3-1 so far.
Well, speaking of Howe doesn't have a lot of yards, why don't we get into stats?
All right. Bell's leading 13-7 here at the half. We'll start with the Bells stats on offense. Brock Baker, 5 carries for 58 yards and a touchdown. He will not be here for the second half as he was ejected in the second quarter. Grady Waldrop, they still have him to lean on in the second half. 6 carries for 52 yards. Spencer Hines, 1 carry for 78 yards and a touchdown. Hayden Allen has 1 carry for 1 yard. Lane Kendrick, 1 carry for -4 yards. Jacob Aaron, the quarterback, 1 carry for 10 yards. And Easton Harrigan, 1 carry for -2 yards. Bells' quarterback has attempted 1 pass, and he overthrew his man. So Bells is just going to run the ball here.
Wow, I did not realize they'd only had 1 pass attempt.
Baker is also the leading rusher. He's also the leading receiver and leading tackler for Bells. We'll go to their defensive stats. Brock Baker, 3 tackles. Kohler High, 3 tackles. Gabe Rogers, 1. Kai Brown, 2. Cooper Smith, 3. Colt Stone, 3. Preston Carter, 1. Jacob Aaron, 2. Tucker Critz, 1. Peyton Washington, 1. And Bryson Thompson, 4, is the leading tackler at the half for Bells. We'll jump into Howe's stats now. Quarterback Austin Haley is only 6 of 14 for 103 yards passing. One of those was a big 58-yard play to Braden Ulmer in the first quarter. Antoine Rattler, Howe's leading rusher, is 8 carries for only 8 yards so far. That's the shocker for me. Austin Haley, 3 carries for 19 yards. Cooper Jones, 2 carries for 2 yards and a touchdown. Braden Ulmer, 1 carry for -1 yards. Receiving for Howe, Braden Ulmer has 4 catches for 75 yards. Cooper Jones, 1 catch for 11 yards, but has drawn 2 pass interference penalties. Colin Murphy, 1 catch for 2 yards. And Tristan Williams, 1 catch for 15 yards. On defense, the Bulldogs are being led so far by Braden Ulmer with 4 tackles, Carson Daniels 4, Tristan Williams 3, Bo Stevens 3, Bryce Crosby 3, Tank Turner 1, Matt Hayes 1, Colin Murphy 1, Colton Little 1, Ethan Mayo 1, Michael Riddle 2, and Garen Langford 2. But Garen Langford had one of the best tackles of the night in the open field, one-on-one with Brock Baker.
Blizzard, what did you say about Haley and Rattler? What did Haley throw for?
Haley is 6 of 14 for 103 yards. Rushing, he has 3 for 19. And Rattler rushing is 8 for 8 yards.
Man, they have really clamped down on Rattler.
There's no give.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Like the 178-yard run for Bells is like all of Howe's offense, but pretty much.
All right, we'll take a break, come back with some scores around the area, and we'll talk second half here at Bulldog Stadium at the, oh goodness.
Bullard Construction.
Bullard Construction, thank you so much.
Austin Haley's coming to the sidelines.
Oh no, let's hope Haley's okay. Caroline, can you get the mic in there?
Coach, I'm starving. I can't keep going.
But you're the starting quarterback.
Coach, I can't help it. I need something quick.
Hang on. Doreen, quick, go to Sonic, get a burger, tots, and a shake.
Make it an M&M blast.
Doreen, make that an M&M blast. Large.
Coach, I'm sorry, but Sonic of Howe is where you get great food and big smiles. It's not just good.
I know, it's Sonic good. Hang on, Doreen, bring me some onion rings. Those things really bring the hammer down.
Hey, it's me, Gus the Gopher for Atmos Energy. I dig all around the yard. Occasionally, I bump into a utility line and get a headache. But if you hit one with your shovel, backhoe, or ditch digger, you could cause a gas leak, disrupt service, or worse. So call 811 at least 3 business days before you or someone else digs in your yard to have those underground utility-owned lines marked. It's free and it's the law. You dig what I'm saying? For more on safe digging, visit atmosenergy.com/811.
Independent Financial is proud to support Howe ISD and their hardworking students, teachers, and staff. We share your vision for a brighter tomorrow and a championship season. For every challenge, Independent Financial has you covered. Our team can suggest a wide range of financial products to make your personal banking fast and easy. Plus, we have the know-how to deliver the game-changing business banking solutions. Independent Financial, your community in your corner. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
right, we are back at Bulldog Stadium for the Bullard Construction halftime show. 13-7, Bells on top of Howe at the half. Just some quick scores right quick, Justin, if you want to start. Or I put you on the spot there, sorry.
Yeah, I want to get to one game from last night if you're just a big football nerd. Allen lost big to Denton Geyer last night, 49-7.
On ESPN, too.
Yeah, well, was it? I didn't even see that. Let's see here. Go ahead if you see it.
Okay, SNS at home against Holiday. They are losing 28-0 at half. Melissa on the road in Greenville, 35-6. Melissa on top of the Lions on that one. Leonard and Blue Ridge, the score at half is 7-6. Leonard winning on the road right now at Blue Ridge.
That's a shootout, or that's a fight right there. Santo and Collinsville tied at 21. Munster leading Lindsay, 21-14. You said the Holiday SNS game?
I did. Bridgeport, Van Alstyne, 23-6. The Panthers on top of the Bulls at half.
Denison leading Princeton 34-12. That's at the half. Pilot Point behind Boyd 27-14. That's at the half.
Anna on the road in Nevada 6-0 at the half. Anna on top of that one.
Aubrey big on Sanger 42-14. That's in the second quarter.
Salina? Go ahead.
You go ahead with Salina.
Oh, were you about to do that? Salina and Dallas Carter in Salina tonight, 41-6. Salina on top of the Cowboys at half.
Crum leading Farmersville 21-0. Peaster over Ponder 41-21. That's in the second quarter.
That's all I got.
And then one more from the old district that Howe was in. Mount Vernon leading Commerce 28-10. That is at the half.
All right, we'll be back to the Bullard Construction halftime show with some highlights and talk about second half coming up.
Who's your local plumber? Brother Plumber. It's good to know someone local and someone you can trust when your home or office drops the ball.
Mainline break, 15 yards.
Brother Plumber is plumb professional and serves not only Howe, but also all of Grayson County. And you can save yourself 10% if you mention Go Bulldogs. Visit us online at brotherplumber.com. We'd love to help. Brother Plumber is one call away at 469-968-4487. Visit us online at brotherplumber.com. Remember, Go Bulldogs.
Hi, this is Matt Linder with Linda Hamill Insurance. Your home field is where everything happens. And I'm not talking about Bulldog Stadium. We're talking about your home, your car, and your life. For over 30 years, we've been offering bundled discounts on home, auto, and life. We offer Germania and Progressive Insurance Protection, as well as many others to suit your needs. Call us today at 903-965-4098 or come by and see us at 106 North Broadway in Bells, Texas. That's 903-965-4098.
This is Michelle Castle with Guild Mortgage, welcoming you to Howe Bulldogs football. Guild has been delivering on the promise of home to hundreds of thousands of people just like you for over 60 years. With a big heart and a desire to serve, we're committed to making life better in our communities. This is where we live, and we're committed to building it with you.
Guild Mortgage Company, Equal Housing Opportunity Company, NMLS number 3274. Michelle Castle, NMLS number 231122. Branch address 714 North Travis Street, Sherman, Texas 75090. All loans subject to underwriter approval. Terms and conditions apply. Subject to change without notice.
Justin White, you and I did a state championship game last year, and it was a slot T Liberty Hill versus a slinging around, run the football, very similar to Howe Bulldogs. And we kind of got the same kind of game that we had in the state Class 5A state championship game a year ago with South Oak Cliff.
Yeah, it was a fight then, and it's a fight now. I mean, both teams are exchanging punches, and as I said earlier, you're fighting for every yard. This is a back alley fight right now. I mean,
it really is.
You know,
and almost literally, there's some it's a little bit of scrapping going on down there. Hey, you're listening to your Bullard Construction halftime show. That's where we are. We've got some highlights for you. We are going to go over those right now. The Howe Bulldogs started this football game at their own 11-yard line after they won the toss and decided they wanted the football. And it was a 12-play, 89-yard drive for Howe. As they got inside the 5-yard line, it appears like they might not have been able to push it over, but on fourth down, the wild dog, it was Cooper Jones. And that made it 7-0 with 6:11 as Howe took the first 5:29 off the clock. Bells took the ball at their own 22-yard line, and it didn't take them long. One play, 78 yards. That tied the game at 7 with 5:53 on the clock in the second. In the first, rather. I mean, it was early punches back and forth really quickly on the first two possessions, and then Howe had to punt. And then Bells took the ball at their own 29-yard line and were turned away. Turnover on downs there. Let me mark that because I didn't mark it, so let me do that right now. And then Howe took it at their own 28-yard line. They had to punt. It was a defensive struggle there as we moved into the second quarter. But Bells took it at their own 42-yard line, took only 5 plays to go the 58 yards, and it was a 40-yard cannon shot by Brock Baker. They took the lead 13-7 at that point. They went for 2 and were turned away by the Bulldog defense. 7:36 on the clock in the second, and Bells took that lead, 13-7. Howe's next possession ended in a punt. Bell's next possession ended in a turnover on downs. And then Howe took it at their own 33-yard line, drove down the field, took all of the 3:02 off the clock, got down to a first and goal situation, and then found themselves fourth and goal from the 22, tried to heave it in the end zone on a last-ditch effort with 2 seconds left. Rattler couldn't bring it in at the goal line, and we went to the half, and that's where we are, 13-7. Bells in the lead, and they get the football first, Justin White.
Yeah, and I think, and we've kind of talked about it here in the box here earlier off air, is that this first possession, especially May's first couple possessions, is going to be key on how this game is going to go and how this game is going to swing. I mean, Bulldogs are hanging around. This defense, you just need another stand, and you got to get this offense. It's got to get something going here in the second half.
Boy, we are quickly underway, aren't we?
We are.
Hit exterior.
We timed that just right. Not many highlights.
Wow.
Right into the third quarter.
The Tech Wave kickoff is just about to be underway as Johnny Garcia stands 10 yards away from the ball. He'll be kicking towards the north end zone. He runs to the ball, and he boots it deep with the wind at his back, goes back to the 5-yard line. Of course, that one goes into the end zone. Howe's, when Cooper Jones wanted that ball, it stopped at the goal line and went sideways out of bounds, or almost out of bounds. And, of course, Garcia's goes into the end zone.
Bryce Crosby's in a jacket, and it does not look like Ryan Huff has his helmet.
Yikes.
Injury report on the halftime there.
2 key losses for Howe. Both teams banged up.
So here come the Bells Panthers from their own 25-yard line, and this is going to be a run up the middle. And that's going to be a gain for maybe about 6 or 7, maybe 8 yards on first down. And that's what the slot T does. And it's hard to figure out who has the ball at times, and then quickly, well, they're going to say he only got 6 to the 32.
Yeah, that's still a good game. I want to say that was Aaron, the quarterback, who was able to sneak through for 6-7 yards.
Second down and 4. Aaron goes under center, handoff Waldrop around the left side. He's got a lot of room down the sideline. Look out, 50 being chased down. And Matt Hayes is not able to make the tackle. Waldrop's going to the house, to the 10, to the 5. And Bell scores quickly right out of the half. And a flag is going to be down around the 7-yard line.
It's either on Carson Daniels or the guy blocking him. Carson was hitting him way after the guy. Could go either way, though.
So we'll see what this one is, but right now it stands at a 68-yard touchdown by Waldrop. The officials are talking about it over there.
Not many running backs left for Bells. And Waldrop gets that handoff around the end. And nobody touched him for quite a while. And then Hayes almost got him about 30 yards downfield. Not able to hang on.
I thought Hayes was going to be able to grab him at about the 30-yard line, but couldn't do it.
Again, there's a lot of misdirection on this slot T offense trying to keep up with who's got the ball.
So what do we have on the penalty?
It looks like it's going to be on Howe, the way they're talking to Coach West, and Coach West just kind of did like a punching motion. I don't know if that happened, but that was the motion he gave the ref. And I think they're going to assess it on the kickoff.
So it stands at a 68-yard touchdown by Waldrop.
So personal foul against
the
Bells?
Bulldogs. No, against Howe? No, against Bells.
And he said the touchdown was good, so he must have called it wrong there.
Okay.
He pointed toward Bells.
Yeah,
Trying to go for two. Here's Aaron. Handoff up the middle, right over left guard, and it looks like Bells has recaptured their points back on the 2-point conversion. And they do. So they get back on schedule with a 21-7 lead with 11-11 left to go in the third. We'll be right back.
At Grayson Cullen Electric Cooperative, GCEC, we have been around for over 80 years and are governed by 7 principles: open and voluntary membership, democratic member control, members' economic participation, autonomy and independence, education, training, and information, cooperation among cooperatives, and concern for community. One of our communities is Howe, Texas, and GCEC is proud to support the Howe Bulldogs.
You might know that State Farm agent Corey Hernandez has great service. Corey is your good neighbor after all. But did you know State Farm has surprisingly great rates too? That's right. State Farm agent Corey Hernandez is here to help you select the right protection at the right price. Corey will make sure you understand your State Farm coverages so you'll know what to expect if the unexpected happens. Call State Farm agent Corey Hernandez at 903-893-8400 or visit insurancequotetexoma.com. When you want the real deal, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Your hit exterior scoring drive recap. 2 plays, 75 yards. It was capped off by a 68-yard touchdown run by Waldrop. And that brings our new score after the 2-point conversion, 21-7 with 11-11 left to go in the third. And Bells, look out for the onside kick here on the Tech Wave kickoff. They're going to be kicking from the 45-yard line of Howe. Get ready here. Keaton High to boot this one away or boot it on the ground. We'll see what happens. He runs to the ball, and a pooch kick. It looks like it's going to go straight out of bounds, and it does. So Hal, not that bad field position after all.
Yeah, the system penalty. So the penalty was on Howe, and go ahead. I'm sorry. Penalty was on Howe, and so moved it up to with the 45-yard line and kicked it out of bounds. So Bulldogs will have good field position to start out.
Let's check down with our Night Furniture sideline reporter, Caroline. Big penalty right there, and how's there's a lot of injuries starting to happen down there.
Yeah, guys. I mean, as you've been saying, both teams are kind of beat up, and with Huff and Crosby out, it's just going to be, like we were saying, a back alley fight. Who's the last man standing?
So Howe's going to start from their own 27-yard line, and it's a 2-touchdown game now. Howe has really had trouble moving the football. I mean, they didn't have this much trouble against Gunner, I don't think, moving the football. So 1st and 10, right to left goes Howe. 2 receivers either side. Handoff Rattler, met in the backfield. No, Haley kept it around the right side. And he's got 6 or 7 yards to the 34-yard line.
Good job on the fake by Haley. Kept in the belly as long as he could of Rattler, then pulled it out and went around that right end. Got him a good 7-8 yard gain.
Houdini Haley does it again. 2nd down and about 3 or 4 coming up.
This is where the pressure of that slot T offense comes into play. You're down 2 scores. It puts pressure on your offense to score now. If you don't, then you give back the ball back to Bells with a chance of having a long, drawn-out possession.
3 receivers near side. Jones alone up top. Handoff Rattler trying to find the right edge. Close to a 1st down. And he's right at it, right at the marker. And they're going to move the sticks. So a 1st down for Howe at the 37-yard line.
He was riding the hip pocket of one of his linemen. I can't tell if that may have been McCollum.
B-R-O-D-Y and Michael Riddle perhaps over there.
One of those, McCollum or Riddle riding the back hip of those guys to get the 1st down.
Jones again by himself. They've got 2 guys on Jones. And a handoff to Rattler up the middle. And again, up the middle has not been where Howe has been successful tonight, as he's met by a wall right there. No gain, 2nd down and 10 coming up.
Remember, this defense held Gunner to 24 points. A Gunner offense that's been very good this year.
You know, when I was talking to Coach Dale West from Bells, and he said if they would have had Cooper Smith for the first half of that game, he feels like they would have won.
Wow. Shows what kind of impact Smith has.
And he's lined up right over Malin Walker right here. 2nd down and 10. Right to left. Haley pulls it out of the gutter. Rattler throws it across the middle. Caught by Murphy. A great catch. He had to go back for it. It wasn't a great throw by Haley, but Murphy made the adjustment, and it's right at the sticks. And they move the sticks now.
What a catch. Man, it was so close. It was right behind. Just the slant across the middle on the RPO, and it was a little bit behind him. He would have caught that in stride. He had some space in front of him and caught it right at the sticks. I thought maybe a bit short, but as we've said all season long, they don't measure anymore. They just round up and do the chains.
Well, if you're anywhere close to 10 yards, it's like they give it to you. Back to 2 receivers either side, but here comes Ulmer. And they're going to throw him on the swing pass. He makes the catch out of the backfield and runs over a defender at the 49. My goodness, Braden Ulmer. He lowered the shoulder and put the absolute boom on Peyton Washburn.
I don't know if Washburn got the license plate on that number 4 on Ulmer. He got that swing pass and he didn't dance around. He lowered the helmet and went right over Washburn.
2nd down and 8. Howe with the ball at the 49-yard line. They look to the side. 3 down linemen for Bells. 4 backers. 2 slots and 2 wides. Haley drops back 3 steps. Now rolling right side. Chased down by Cooper Smith. Fires a dart down the field for Jones. Wow. It appears that it's caught. One of the Bells coaches says he was out of bounds, but Cooper Jones made the catch inside the 30 at the 28-yard line of Bells.
Man, what a throw by Haley.
As a dart.
Great protection, and then rolled to his right. Jones had to kind of come back to it, got to hit him on the sidelines where only he was going to catch it. The ball was going to be out of bounds. And Cooper Jones took up every part of that field as he could and tiptoed, did the toe tap on the far sideline.
31 yards on the pass and catch. Haley drops back, setting up the screen. Ulmer again makes the catch, spins out of a tackle, but can't spin out of 2 or 3 more. He might have got back to the line of scrimmage. And they may give him 1.
And Ulmer, on that hit, I think he lowered his helmet. Looks like he's maybe kind of dazed just a little bit on that wide receiver screen there in the middle of the field.
Again, Tristan Williams into the game for Ryan Huff, who's out. Williams is split out wide to the near side. 3 receivers up top. Handoff. Rattler, nope. This is going to be Haley again as he kind of squirreled his way behind the left guard and then finally went down for a yard loss, trying to find a hole there. He was kind of hopping.
Yeah, he bounced around a couple of times, and that defensive line on the left side, right side defensive line, left side of the offensive line, stayed home. Kai Brown was able to corral him.
3rd down and 10 for Howe. Big play here at the Bells' 29-yard line. Rattler goes out of the backfield. 4 slots on the right side. Haley looking down the field. In the middle, flushed out of the pocket. Now throws across. It's going to be caught by Ulmer in the middle of the field, inside the 10 and driven down there. Haley stood in the pocket and stood in the pocket and stood in the pocket with Smith breathing down his neck, and he fired a bullet across the middle of the field.
Right in the middle field, nobody was there. Everybody was playing way back, trying to prevent the big play, and Ulmer underneath the coverage.
6:27 on the clock as it rolls.
Underneath the coverage, able to catch the pass and get inside the red zone, inside the 10-yard line, right at the 10.
1st and goal from the 9. Man in motion is Ulmer from right to left. He gets the carry on the jet sweep, runs over a defender, and after he lowers his shoulder, he gets maybe 2 or 3 to the 7-yard line.
Man, Braden Ulmer has been the star of this drive. Touched the ball several times on this possession.
Man, Ulmer, you're getting a little glimpses of what you're going to get in the next 2 years out of BU. Murphy goes in motion from left to right. Haley wants it with Rattler to his left, and now they stop. And they turn around and they look. And they await the play. And now Haley's got it and rolling right. From the 7-yard line, still rolling, and he finally throws it at the feet of his intended receiver as he had nowhere to go. And it'll be 3rd down and goal now from the 7 as he was throwing that at Murphy's feet.
Yeah, that was
12th play of the drive coming up.
You got to get points out of this, and a field goal probably is not going to do it right now.
Boy, the Bells defense really does a great job of stiffening up down around the red zone, don't they?
They really do. I mean, they have, again, they're making you work for every single yard. I mean, there have been some big plays on this drive, but you better really work for it.
That is a really good football team in the white jerseys. Haley on 3rd and goal, rolling out right. Looking down the field, throws, flag down, passes incomplete. And now you're looking at a 4th down, but let's check the flag.
It's going to be holding on Aiden Burris.
So we'll see if they back it up or decline it. I think they're probably going to back that one up. Now, Garcia has the wind at his back. But let's see what Howe does here, and let's see what Bells does. They're going to move it over to 4th down. So they're going to decline the penalty. And Howe's got 4th and goal from the 7-yard line.
And I don't see Garcia coming out, so they're gonna go for this.
Either that or they're going to think about it and call a timeout. And it looks like they're going to go for it. Howe goes to the line of scrimmage. Coach is calling signals there. 3 receivers to the right. Jones is all the way up top. Howe on 4th and goal. Haley rolls out right, looking in the area of Jones, and he misfires, and it's incomplete. And the Bells sideline goes crazy because they know they just turned away Howe at a crucial moment of this football game. With 5:13 left in the 3rd, Bells up by 2 touchdowns, 21-7. And their defense gets better and better the closer you get to the goal line.
And I don't know if there was some miscommunication on that pass because Jones almost hadn't turned around, and and Haley threw it a little bit short with an incomplete pass. Now your defense for Howe needs to stiffen up.
Jacob Aaron is going to be brought down at the line of scrimmage as he tried to sneak it up.
Austin is very hot with Cooper on the sideline as well. Very unlike him.
And they're still talking to each other. Now Cooper Jones just walks right past him, and Haley slaps him on the butt. It's 2nd down and 9
and this is what they do right now. They're taking their sweet time.
They come to the football at the 8-yard line. They got a yard on that. And here is a toss to Waldrop trying to find that outside corner now. He's got a lane. Look out. Chased down by, that's going to be Murphy. He makes a cut on Murphy, and he could be gone. Look out. To the 30, to the 20. There's a flag down at the line of scrimmage. Waldrop could be running all for naught. There's a flag down at the 7-yard line, and the official is just standing there not moving, and they're all coming back.
It's a touchdown for Bells. It's on Howe. The penalty's on Howe. It's a chop block on the D lineman.
Oh, wow.
You know, we've seen that a lot this year. And for the first time ever.
Yeah, you can't cut offensive linemen anymore. And it has been called quite a bit this year.
And Coach Bryan is hot. Coach Harvey is hot on this.
So Waldrop goes 92 on one of the longest runs ever scored at Bulldog Stadium.
Really? Wow. And Coach Bryan, he's wanting an explanation.
And Coach Harvey's very animated. So Bells appears to be going for 2. As now,
as they call it, chop block against the Bulldogs.
Oh my goodness.
Bells has blown this wide open now.
It's not the first time we've seen that, but it's such an unusual call.
Mm-hmm. Especially on defense.
Man. And what was strange was the official was just standing there by the flag at the 7 or 8 yard line at the line of scrimmage as if it were going to be coming back. Mm-hmm. All his body language indicated it was coming back.
Yeah, when they stand there, I agree, Monty. I just assumed that it was coming back, like you said, because he just didn't move with the play at all.
I mean, boy, that is something. So here, Bells is going for 2. And now officials call a timeout here because head coach for Howe, Lance Bryan, wants an explanation. And Andrew Harvey is pointing, and he's not happy.
Man.
Wow. So at the moment, it's 27-7.
Coach West finally thinking, man, finally I get a break my way. He's been chewing on the officials' ear for most of the game, and now it's going to be Coach Bryan's turn.
So the Bulldogs are going to take a knee. The defensive line is going to take a knee here as the officials are talking to Coach Bryan about this. And he's pleading his case. And Coach Harvey is also pleading his case right behind Coach Bryan. Those two coached together at Sanger for several years. And they're kind of double teaming the officials right here, and now they
kind of accepted the call and
apparently are
moved on.
Got their answer, and I guess we're ready for the PAT. Is now the Bulldog defense prepares for it as they now get off their knees, and here we go. Bells comes to the line of scrimmage. Aaron goes under center. Man goes in motion and now whistles before this one. What is this? It's going to be encroachment against Howe. So spot it. Yard and a half or half a yard closer.
Y'all hear?
Go ahead.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
So they
hang on, here we go. 2-point conversion. Bells comes to the line of scrimmage. Turn, hand, and into the end zone for the 2-point conversion goes Peyton Washburn. And now it's a 29-7 game with Bells in the lead. 4:23 left to go in the third. We'll be back right after this.
Since 2011, Scoggins Funeral Home and Crematory has walked with hundreds of families through the most overwhelming time of their lives. Their job is simple: to make this season a little easier. What you can expect is a no-pressure, people-first philosophy, custom services for memorials that you'll remember forever, and reasonable pricing. Tommy and Bobby K. Scoggins have built a reputation over the past 30 years in the funeral business for making every family feel at home. Visit ScogginsFuneralHome.com or call 903-482-5225.
I'm attorney Micah Belden, an old-school black and white Howe Bulldog. In criminal defense, you need someone who fights like a bulldog. Call me now if you've been investigated, arrested, or charged with a crime in North Texas. My number is 903-744-4252. We'll set up a free consultation. You will find out that I'm rough, tough, and I can't get enough. I'm board certified in criminal law by the Texas Board of Legal Specialization, Principal Office, Sherman, Texas. Visit my website at shermancriminallawyer.com.
Well, apparently you don't need Brock Baker when you got Grady Waldrop, who can take it 92 to the house. And Bells goes 2 plays, 93 yards on your hit exterior scoring drive recap. And Waldrop takes it 92 of the 93. And now the personal foul or a penalty against Howe is going to take it. Again, Bell's going to be kicking off from the Howe 45-yard line. 29-7 our score at Bulldog Stadium. 4:23 left to go in the third. And the kick is going to be a high. Fair catch called for by, I believe that's Murphy on the far side. I think that's Murphy.
I think it was too.
So Howe will start from their own 25-yard line.
Where was the personal foul at?
I must have missed that one.
It was the chop block. On the run.
Okay.
They assessed it on the kickoff. Okay.
Wow.
It was. I was trying to remember back, but that had to be it, obviously.
Caroline, do we have you?
Yes, you did. Okay, there we go. I think it may be the wind. Okay, so just with that argument with Coach Bryan and Coach Harvey, they were the referee was saying that, of course, it was chop block. They're saying he was just Well, I'm trying to say this fast and get it out.
Here's Haley, sends Murphy in motion. He gets the handoff on the jet sweep, and now lots of razzle-dazzle, and Haley's going deep ball for Jones. And it appears like there's no flag on the play, as in coverage. Bells played it very nicely, but Jones kind of stopped on the throw, I thought.
Yeah, he just stopped running.
It appeared that he might have been able to run underneath that, but for whatever reason, I think maybe he thought he was held, but he just seemed to stop running.
Yeah, you can't stop running there because if you run through it, you get the call. You can't just stop like he did.
Do you think he lost that ball in the lights?
He might have.
He might have, yeah.
Because, Haley launched that thing on a little bit of trickery there by Coach Cater pulling out the stops.
Pulls it out of Rattler. Here is BU on the swing pass, and he's going to have enough for a first down to the 35-yard line. And Braden Ulmer, have yourself a game, young man.
It really is. Good block by Murphy on the outside to free up Ulmer on that catch.
That's first 8 catches for Ulmer so far.
Wow. 1st and 10, right to left goes Howe. Trying to get back into this football game. 3 receivers right. Haley looks right, throws deep ball right, looking for Jones. He's open, and a great play out there. Again, Jones may have lost it in a lighter. He didn't attack the football there, as we've seen him do so many times. And the defender made a great play on the ball. And it falls incomplete, and I believe it's 3rd down now and 10.
I wonder if they were wanting the free play, but there is no flag on the play. Because they did what they normally do, where they draw a defender off sides and just go long to Cooper.
It was very close, but
I don't think he
didn't get it.
I don't think he jumped.
3 receivers again to the right. And Haley's going to pull it out of the gut of Rattler. Rolling out right, looking to throw. He does, and he fires it incomplete. He threw a bullet to Murphy. It was just too fast and too out in front of him. You rarely see Haley, out of sync right here. And he looks out of sort just a little bit.
He's been a little off target tonight, it seems. He's overshot some receivers. But pulled that out of the gut of Rattler and kind of rode along the line of scrimmage and just trying to lead Murphy just a little bit, let him too much.
They've rarely looked over here near side to Williams. Don't forget about Williams. 3rd down and 10. As Haley drops back 3 steps. Now rolls out of the pocket. Flag down at the line of scrimmage. And a deep ball down, and that's going to be caught and then dropped. It rolled out of the hands. Murphy, I think, had it for a moment, and then it fell out, but there's going to be a penalty flag.
It's a chop block on it, Rattler and Aiden Burris. They chop block Cooper Smith.
Cooper Smith, yeah, he was slow to get up.
It seems like the Bulldogs have had a lot of downfield throws that are just kind of thrown up for grabs almost.
They've done that in the past 2 drives at least.
Yeah.
Early in the game, they weren't attacking the air.
Right.
It was all short passes, but here lately it's been a lot of prayer throws. Chop block going to be declined, and it'll be 4th down for Howe and punt time for the Bulldogs. Actually, they are going to back it up.
They declined a holding penalty and accepted the chop block. There was 2 flags on Howe's offensive line there.
So that'll move the ball back to the 20.
What's interesting again, Bells is only rushing 3 guys this whole game.
So here's Haley with Rattler to his right. Haley drops back, still looking, processing the field. Cooper Smith in his face, throws it down the field, and it's knocked away. He was looking for his receiver, Cooper Jones, but a great play on the ball by the defender, Easton Helgren.
Cooper almost had to play defensive back there to knock it away from getting picked off by Bells.
Well, he had Smith right into his face, too.
Cooper Smith has been impressive tonight on defense.
He really has.
He is a grown man out there, Cooper Smith is.
About 6'5". He's the first Bells player to ever score a point in track at a state track meet when he did that in shot put a year ago. So Cooper Jones now will stand inside his own 10 to punt this one away. With the wind at his back, it's a low end-over-end kick. Going to bounce at the 45, and it's going to be picked up on a hop by Aaron at his own 45. Almost a great tackle, and Howe may have the football. Kieran Langford, I believe, made a great tackle, which knocked the ball out. Howe says they have it, and they do. G-force creates a turnover. I think it was Colton Little. It might have been, it was Little.
Bill Bates.
It was Bill Bates, Colton Little.
Little recovered it, Garen forced it.
And just kind of, it was trying to get around a corner. And you said Langford forced it?
Langford forced it, Colton Little recovered it.
Trying to get around a corner and kind of holding it kind of loosely a little bit, maybe not high and tight, and Langford with the strip. And the Bulldogs capitalize on this mistake.
3:01 on the clock here in the third. Howe with new life. Handoff Rattler coming near side, looking for a block by Daniels, and he can't get that outside corner. And again, Rattler bottled up all night long. He gets back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it.
Man, this defense is just...
They good.
I mean, they're disciplined. They swarm the ball. They get pressure in the backfield. They're good tacklers.
Bells has everything you want from a slot T football team. When you have a slot T football team, you better have a good defense.
Exactly.
And they have that. Second down and 10, pulling it out of the gutter. Rattler throwing it out to the near side. That's going to be caught. Driven hard out of bounds is Colin Murphy by the defender Preston Carter. But that's good for maybe 6 or 7 yards, 6 yards, and it'll set up a 3rd and 4. Howe with the ball at the 26-yard line.
Bills does a good job keeping kind of everything in front of him, and not rarely have they given up a big play. They gave one up to Ulmer earlier, but for the most part, they've...
Ulmer's getting retaped by Ricky right now. Howe needs to get him back in the game if possible.
Right now it's Daniels as an H-back. Handoff Rattler, right side, maybe 2, setting up a 4th down and short. 4th and 2 coming up for Howe from the 24-yard line. Gotta get this one. Haley's gonna run under center. And Howe jumps off sides. My goodness. They had a chance. Bells came across the line, but the Howe right tackle and left tackle jumped off sides.
Wow.
I think it was Riddle and Garbrandt both took off. Man, that's unfortunate.
It was both tackles that they just went forward. They were ready.
Wow.
And Ulmer's going back in the game here.
So instead of being 4th and 2, it's now 4th and 7, and the ball goes back to the 29-yard line. That is a huge penalty.
Yeah.
As boy, Howe had a chance right there to create some momentum. And now they've got to go for it on 4th and 7. 3 receivers to the right. Ulmer back in the game. Haley drops back, 3 steps looking. Deep ball right towards the end zone. Cooper Jones making an adjustment for it, but can't do it. It falls incomplete and out of bounds. And Howe has turned it over on downs again, and the Bells Panther defense holds again.
Blizzard, did I see it right? Did I see Colin Murphy over in the flats wide open?
Wide open.
Okay, I was about to say, I was like, there's nobody over there, and I don't see how Haley missed him. He was right there, probably 5 yards in front of him.
Yeah,
Instead, he just hammered it downfield to Cooper Jones.
I yelled, "Hit Colin Murphy's wide open." It's been that kind of night though.
It's like they lost track of Murphy, who was kind of on a swing route out in the flats, and Haley just missed him.
1st and 10 for Bells. Here they come from the 30, and this is a handoff right side. Walker there to make the tackle on the back, which was Easton Helgren. Gain of 4.
End around on Helgren, and this again. This is where they start to get 4 yards on that, and this is where they're going to start eating up clock.
And it's 34 seconds in the 3rd right now.
You know, clock and your offensive possessions are about to be extremely limited now.
2nd down and 6. And right up the middle goes Bells. Not much doing there.
There's a guy goes left, a guy goes right, a guy goes in the middle, and just guess who has the ball.
Yeah, and that time it was Bryson Thompson. And a minimal gain of about 1. And I think that's going to be the end of the 3rd quarter, and it is. We're headed to the 4th here in Howe, Texas. You got to turn away the Bills Panthers if you're going to have a shot to get back into this game, Howe. You're down 29-7. We'll be right back.
Buying and or selling your next home or property should be an enjoyable experience. At Texoma Land and Home Team, our commitment to the personal relationship of each transaction ensures communication you expect, while assuring that we'll be here the next time you need us. We're not a big box real estate company by design. This freedom allows us to be fully at your service. Texoma Land and Home Team, Renee Nichols Broker, 903-818-1645. Texoma Land and Home Team, for all your real estate needs, 903-818-1645.
Baker Air Conditioning and Heating has been in business in Howe for over 50 years. They even predate the volleyball program and the marching band. Norman Dickey was the new coach when they opened up. Baker Air Conditioning and Heating has been able to serve the good people of Howe and surrounding areas because, well, they're good people. If you've been told you need expensive repairs, get a second opinion with Baker Air Conditioning and Heating. Call 903-532-6255 or see them at 215 Denny Street. Baker Air Conditioning and Heating.
3rd down and 5 for the Bells Panthers. They're at their own 34-yard line. They're up 29-7. Howe had a really good game going at the half. They couldn't punch it in right before the half to take the lead. Here's a handoff to the right side. That's Waldrop. He's free again. Look out. Hayes trying to drag him down. There's a flag down, and so is Waldrop's helmet.
It's a face mask on Matt.
And now there's some pushing and shoving and some words as Bo Stevens is right around the area of the pile.
I think Hayes was just doing what he could to get him down.
Yeah, I agree with that, Justin.
Yeah, he was the last line of defense and just had to basically rip his head off to bring him down.
Omer just pointed to his knee, too.
Boy, both teams get banged up in this one. This is a dogfight, and it has been all night.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
All right, so Trey talks real quick. Trey, what do you think the Bulldogs need to do to get in this game?
They need to come out in the final quarter and come out with a positive attitude and put their head into the game, and I think they can do it.
I think so, too. That was a good one, Trey. It is getting very intense, I'll tell you.
Getting a little chippy.
Which, I was just thinking.
Come back.
I was thinking it hasn't.
Come back. It hasn't. That's all we got.
Mic troubles are tough sometimes.
What's that?
Mic troubles are tough sometimes.
Yeah, they are tough sometimes.
Oh, here we go. I was just saying, I was thinking that this game hasn't gotten chippy. It hadn't gotten as good.
Yeah.
Not the windscreen, is it?
I don't think it's the windscreen, but it could be the wind, perhaps. I don't know. It's always some interference. You think about how much wireless communication is going on up here in a football game. The band, they have wireless communication. Obviously, all the headsets for the coaches. So it's going to be a face mask against Howe after they talk about it for 5 years. They'll spot it at the 31-yard line, at the Howe 31. So the 1st and 10 for the Bells Panthers. Remember, they scored 86 a week ago against Blue Ridge. Handoff Waldrop, right guard, and he fights forward for a few yards. Maybe about 6 or 7 on 1st down to the 25-yard line. They'll give him 6.
Fights the word. He gets right behind the right guard, right tackle, and just
Howe
without a fight.
Howe has owned this series over the years. 35 wins and 10 losses and 5 ties going back to 1936, but they have not beaten the Bells Panthers since Dale West showed up over there. Aaron to the line of scrimmage, handoff left side, first down and more. Waldrop will carry a couple of defenders, including, well, I thought that might have been Tristan Williams. The Bells will have a first down at the 19-yard line of Howe. And there's 10:47 on the clock.
Bell smells blood now. And they're good. He's inside handoff, left side, right side. Turn that clock out and get one more. Sure, they look for one more touchdown for insurance.
First and 10, here come the Panthers. Man in motion on the backside, handoff to the right. Thompson gets the carry, flag down, and he's down after about one. We'll check the flag. It was right at the line of scrimmage. Surely it wasn't another defensive chalk block. Ball at the 19.
It is.
It's against Bells this time. So Michael Riddle will check into the game. And he'll check in for, that's Aiden Burris. And this penalty will back Bells up 15 yards back to the 33-yard line. Big penalty there.
Just dropping way back.
But again, there's 10:16 on the clock, and it is rolling right now. And that's Howe Bulldogs' biggest enemy at the moment, other than the Bells Panthers, who have played excellent tonight. They run to the line of scrimmage. It's first down and a long way to go. This is going to be a toss to the right side. Helgren, and he gets out of bounds or near the out of bounds marker at the 25, and now all kinds of flags come out.
It's
over on their
Carson
far sideline. Tell me that again.
It's on Carson Daniels, a personal foul. He jumped on the ball carrier head first while he was on the ground.
Well,
and that kind of night.
The ball was stopped at the 25. Personal foul against Howe, which will take it to the 10.
Get those 15 yards back.
They'll actually spot it at the, the 13. My goodness. First and 10 for Bells. They run back out. Run to the line of scrimmage. And this is going to be Aaron keeping it, and he is destroyed at the line of scrimmage by Carson Daniels.
Yeah, he snapped the ball
and now now flags down after this one. What is this one?
That was thrown before the play.
There's flags on almost every play now.
Which game was that we had that? Was that Leonard or maybe that was?
That was Leonard, yeah.
Like every play there.
At the end of in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, it seemed like every play there was a flag.
False start against Bell, so back it up. Here we go. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Flag against you, flag against you, flag against you, flag against you. So they'll spot it at the 18. And meanwhile, the clock rolls down to 9:44 in rolling.
And Bells is okay with this. Even if they go back and forth, that means
they're fine.
The clock just continues to seconds tick away.
Tucker Kreitz brings the play in for Bells. It's first and 15. Toss near side, and that's Waldrop. Jumps over Carson Daniels on his way to a pretty nice run of about 6 or 7 yards near the 10-yard line to the 11. Brought down by Bo Stevens at the 11.
They do those pitch outs, or even the inside handoffs. Everybody gets a hat on somebody, and they block well. And obviously they have good running backs, good speed, and good power, but everybody gets a hat on somebody.
Second down and 8. They bring the play in. They run to the line of scrimmage. Thompson it's Waldrop on the carry over right guard. 4 yards thereabouts to the 7-yard line. And now the clock just chews away, 8:37. And the Howe defense has been out there for a little bit.
Yeah.
Especially in the second half. Howe's only had 3 possessions and 1 because they got a turnover on a punt return. 3rd and 4.
That's what that slot T does.
Thompson and Waldrop in the background. Aaron's going to hand off to Waldrop right side. He's popped in the mouth at the line of scrimmage. Driven backwards, or actually did he forward progress, gives him 2 yards. Charlie Turner there, getting off the bottom of the pile. Ball will be spotted near the 5-yard line. Need to get to about the 3 for a first down. It's 4th down for Bells as they're going to let this clock churn down a little bit. 7:46 on the clock. They finally bring the play in. Spencer Hines runs it in. Good to see him back in the game on offense. Aaron turns, hands. Waldrop goes untouched into the end zone. And now Bells moves the score on up to 35.
Just a quick handoff to Waldrop. They've made a living off that, just those quick hitters, and hole open up on that left side, and Waldrop able to walk in the end zone almost untouched.
This is a senior-laden team who went 3 rounds deep in the playoffs a year ago, looking to do so again this year, obviously, and they are a good football team. They'll go for 2 here. Up 35-7, 7:20 on the clock. Motion before we get underway on the PAT. This happened earlier, and it was against Howe. We'll see what this one is. This one is going to be once again on Howe. And they'll have it a half yard closer, or a yard closer.
Yeah, they've had a few times tonight jumped off sides.
9 plays and 70 yards on the drive for Bells Panthers. On your hit exterior scoring drive recap. Turn, handoff, Thompson. No, they pitch it out. And easily going on the pitch to the corner of the end zone is Helgren for the 2-point conversion, and it's 37-7. With 7:28 left to go in the game, we'll be back.
Austin Haley's coming to the sidelines.
Oh no, let's hope Haley's okay. Caroline, can you get the mic in there?
Coach, I'm starving. I can't keep going.
But you're the starting quarterback.
Coach, I can't help it. I need something quick.
Hang on. Doreen, quick. Go to Sonic, get a burger, tots, and a shake.
Make it an M&M blast.
Doreen, make that an M&M blast. Large.
Coach, I'm sorry, but Sonic of Howe is where you get great food and big smiles. It's not just good.
I know, it's Sonic good. Hang on, Doreen, bring me some onion rings. Those things really bring the hammer down.
Hello, this is Rosie the Skunk for Atmos Energy. You might think I make a bad smell, but it's nothing compared to the rotten egg smell of a gas leak, because that could be dangerous. If you think you smell, see, or hear signs of a leak, don't do anything that might cause a spark. Leave immediately. Then call 911 and Atmos Energy. There's no gray area here. When dealing with gas leaks, it's black and white. For more information, visit atmosenergy.com/gas safety.
Your hit exterior scoring drive recap, 9 plays, 70 yards, took about 5 minutes off the clock there. That's what they do, almost 6 minutes off the clock. The Bills Panthers leading 37-7. Howe had a chance to take the lead right before the half and couldn't punch it in. They were first and goal. Howe, with a roster of about 22, has lost several players tonight also. Here's your Tech Wave kickoff. Is going to be taken by Colin Murphy. The fair catch apparently called for, and Howe will take it at their own 25-yard line to start this next drive.
You know, you said earlier about how if you're going to have the slot T offense, you better have a good defense. You know, being it's not always a quick strike type of offense, but you need to have a stingy defense, and they've got that here tonight and this season. I mean, again, you saw what they did to Gunner a couple weeks ago. Lost the game, but held them to 24 points. Get a timeout called by Bills.
And without their best player in the second half here.
We're going to take a quick, yes, that's a good point. We're going to take a quick timeout. We'll be right back.
Buying and or selling your next home or property should be an enjoyable experience. At Texoma Land and Home Team, our commitment to the personal relationship of each transaction ensures communication you expect, while assuring that we'll be here the next time you need us. We're not a big box real estate company by design. This freedom allows us to be fully at your service. Texoma Land and Home Team, Renee Nichols Broker, 903-818-1645. Texoma Land and Home Team, for all your real estate needs, 903-818-1645.
Welcome back. The teams are still talking about it during the timeout. 37-7, Bells in the lead. And yeah, the slot T offense is one of those it's great if you have a great defense and if you have great athletes, you can, obviously do something. We saw Liberty Hill last year make it to the state championship, Class 5A Division II. And also if you have a terrible team, you can run the slot T because, if you're able to move the ball at all, you can kill the clock. And instead of getting beat by 50, you can get beat by 25. I've seen teams do that as well. 1st and 10 for Howe, left to right, handoff Rattler. Nope, he pulls it out. Now Garen Langford makes the catch, and he lowers the shoulder, and he runs over a defender for a first down catch. Langford's first catch of the season is for 10 yards and a first down.
Again, on the RPO, pulled it out. They faked us out a couple of times on that RPO. Haley's kept it and then finds a receiver underneath. Gets to Langford there by himself on the sidelines.
Langford in the spot of Braden Ulmer. And this is another swing pass out. That's going to be caught and dropped by Murphy. Right in his hands, right on the 4 and the 40. Couldn't hang on, and 2nd down and 10 coming up. It's just been one of those nights.
I think he caught that ball and was looking to run, looking upfield, took his eye off the ball.
3 receivers to the left side. Jones all alone in single coverage now. And they look to the side. They kind of bring a man over to kind of sniff over that way. Drake Daniels but he looks like he's pinning his ears back. And this is Haley running around the left side to get a little bit of room. He spins out of the tackle and runs backwards for about 4 yards, near a first down, just shy by a yard at the 45-yard line.
Enjoying the view as he got pushed backwards about 5 yards.
And Langford again, double duty as he'll come near side in the slot. 2 receivers missing from the very start of this game. Here's Rattler for a first down run to the 47-yard line. And Howe, with 6:08 on the clock, trying to make one last final push in this football game to put points on the board. The first half was fabulous. The second half, not as fabulous.
Yeah, things unravel for Howe.
And is that another timeout? We're going to keep it here and talk about it. Caroline, I haven't talked to you in a little bit down there. How's the team holding up emotion-wise?
It's high. It is kind of starting to fall apart down here. The emotions are high. People are letting them feelings get the best of them, and not what we wanted.
Hopefully they're not turning on each other, I would hope.
No.
Well, Howe's talking about it. I'm glad the pink out is over.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm all for breast cancer awareness, but let's move on from this. I mean, it's not been a good experience.
Yeah.
Maybe next week, though, Howe's got a very, very, very important matchup with Blue Ridge.
Yeah, that's going to be a big game. They got one of the bigger games out of the way in Leonard. A very commanding win. It's interesting. I remember us talking, over text, all 4 of us, about the importance of where these games were at in the schedule with Gunner and Bells back-to-back. You were in favor of it. I think Blizzardwood kind of didn't like that part of the schedule.
Here's a handoff to Rattler over right guard. He drags a defender for about 3 yards. Cooper Smith out of the game now, and here in the latter part of the stages of this football game. It'll be 2nd down and 7 as Rattler takes it across midfield to the 49-yard line. Smith was a load tonight. He might be the story, perhaps, on defense.
Yeah, he made some things uncomfortable for Haley back there.
2nd down and 7. Haley rolls out right, looks down the field, caught. I think that's Langford again, and it is. That's another first down catch inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. So 2 looks for Langford and 2 first downs.
Some quick passes to the outside. You got 4 down linemen rushing now, but no Cooper Smith. As as you said, probably taking the rest of the night off.
So Ulmer not in the game. He started. Huff not in the game. He started. Howe can't afford to lose very many players. They faked the jet sweep to Langford. A pass over the middle caught by Jones. And did he catch it?
He did catch it, but he
did,
took
and then
a knee.
he took a knee, and now he's coming off the field.
And now he hits the ground.
I've never seen that from him like that.
And he appears to be in a lot of pain. Ball is spotted at the 32-yard line.
Yeah, he usually tries to run people over, jump over them when he gets the ball, so...
Yeah, he caught the ball and immediately went down. Took the knee, put the ball where it is, and ran off the field and hit the ground.
Well, the player bounced off of him, and then he took the knee and then ran the sideline.
2nd down and 3. Rattler is going to try to cut it up near the first down. Dives forward inside the 30 to the 29. I think he got the first down. And at this point, right now, of the starting receivers, Colin Murphy is the only one left of the 4.
Wow.
You've got Tristan Williams, Murphy, Langford, and Ethan Mayo.
Wow. That's interesting. Yeah, I wonder what's wrong with Cooper.
It's 3:40 on the clock here. And this is going to be a handoff to Rattler. Right side, shakes a defender, spins out of a tackle, 15, runs over a defender at the 12. A first down run by Rattler for one of the first times tonight. He's been able to break free.
Biggest hole of the night. Rattler gets some good yardage there on that one.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
So we have checked scores, and I've seen 3 different scores for the Gunner Lono game. I've seen 64-0, I've seen 84-0, and I've seen 104-0.
Oh my.
It was 84-0 last I checked.
Handoff, Rattler, right side, cuts it up the middle. He's hit at the goal line. Is he in? Yes, he is. It's touchdown time in Texas. Rattler punches it in from the 11-yard line, and Howe gets on the board late with 3:08 left to go in the game.
Just straight up the gut. And Antoine Rattler, who again is known for not going down after the first point of contact, able to push his way in for that final couple of yards for the touchdown.
Garcia with Haley to hold. Kick looks true, and it is. 37-14, our new score.
Now Rattler's on the turf.
3:08 left to go in the game. We'll be right back.
Independent Financial is proud to support Howe ISD and their hardworking students, teachers, and staff. We share your vision for a brighter tomorrow and a championship season. For every challenge, Independent Financial has you covered. Our team can suggest a wide range of financial products to make your personal banking fast and easy. Plus, we have the know-how to deliver the game-changing business banking solutions. Independent Financial, your community in your corner. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Who's your local plumber? Brother Plumber. It's good to know someone local and someone you can trust when your home or office drops the ball.
Main line break, 15 yards.
Brother Plumber is plumb professional and serves not only Howe, but also all of Grayson County. And you can save yourself 10% if you mention Go Bulldogs. Visit us online at brotherplumber.com. We'd love to help. Brother Plumber is one call away at 469-968-4487. Visit us online at brotherplumber.com. Remember, Go Bulldogs.
Your hit exterior scoring drive recap, 10 plays, 75 yards for the Howe Bulldogs. Capped off by an 11-yard touchdown by Antoine Rattler. And that brings our score 37-14 with 3:08 left to go in the game. And Johnny Garcia about to bang away the Tech Wave kickoff. And Cooper Jones by himself on the bench over here. I'm just wondering if the Howe Bulldogs are going to have enough players to play next week.
You meant to bring in some JVs. JV players.
Garcia runs to the football, kicks it to the south. It's going to bounce a couple of times and fall into the arms of the Bells Panthers' Hayden Hargis. And they'll set up shop near their own 40-yard line for final drive, perhaps.
Well, you get ready next week for a Blue Ridge team that, again, we talked about an important game. Blue Ridge Bells put up 82 against Blue Ridge last week.
Yeah, do we have a score from the Blue Ridge Leonard game? Interested to see what's going to happen there. It's 1st and 10. We'll try to find that out real quick. 1st and 10 here for Bells, moving right to left. As new quarterback Kreitz into the game, he'll hand off right side. Not much doing there, maybe a yard.
I still show 7-6 half.
Gotta be more than that.
Couple of yards brings up 2nd down and 8.
I think Blizzard no Jakes if you want to look up.
Walker not in the game on defense here for Howe. Ethan Mayo in at the end position. As lots of new players in, at least on Bells. Some substitutions for Howe. They run to the line of scrimmage, do the Bells Panthers. Kreitz handoff, right side. Surging forward for about 3 yards are the Panthers. Tank Turner, I think, makes the tackle to the 46-yard line.
It's going to be interesting what this Bells team does, assuming they probably make the playoffs.
Well, of course.
How deep around
they're going to make the playoffs.
Well, there's 2 games left. I guess I was just kind of. Well, I guess at this point it's.
I mean, if it would be almost a miracle if they did not make the playoffs.
Right.
Right. Something bad would have, they are talking nuclear strike, right? I mean, I guess it could happen. Sorry to interrupt your
No, go ahead. Yes.
thought there. Kreitz handoff, right side. And getting away and being finally run down by Tristan Williams, thankfully, or that one was going to go to the house as one of the Panthers broke free there out of the backfield. It was, again, another misdirection. And the ball carrier there was Washburn. And he takes it to the 30, but give Tristan Williams a lot of credit for saving the touchdown.
Hung on to him. I was going to call maybe for a horse collar, but.
Go ahead and finish your thought on Bells in the playoffs.
I'm saying Bells making a deep run in the playoffs. I mean, it'll be interesting to see what they can do. I mean, they've got, defense, offense, the team discipline, the coaching. I mean, they went, 3 rounds deep last year?
And they're going in victory formation here with 1:04 left to go in the game. And Del West is going to call off the Dogs. And that will be your final score tonight. 37-14. If you got here early and you left early, you didn't miss much after the half if you're a Howe fan, because it was a barn burner and a dogfight at the half. You wonder what would have happened in this football game had the Bulldogs been able to punch it in right before the half and taken the lead right there. Instead, they didn't, and Bells came out in the second half and scored on the first drive. And that really was it.
Yeah, that's when they started to unravel. Howe did was in that second half, especially after that first drive by Bells.
And Jake Roberts said during the half that it was, if Bells scored on that first possession, that was probably going to be it. And I thought, well, maybe not, but it turned out to be right.
Got the touchdown and they got the 2-point conversion to boot there.
So that's your final. 37-14. The Bells Panthers take this one. In order to get in the playoffs, Howe's got to beat Blue Ridge next week for sure.
Yeah, Blue Ridge. They got Lone Oak.
I guess you don't have to necessarily, but you really, really need to.
Yeah, to put yourself in a better position. I mean, you got the one that was going to kind of turn everything was that first one against Leonard. But to put yourself in an even better spot, you need to win one of the next 2 games.
Well, I'm going to make my way down to the field and try to get a hug from the kiddo. I know it was a tough night for him. He had a huge, great opponent right across from him in Cooper Smith all night long. That was quite a challenge. So the Howe Bulldogs take it on the chin tonight, 37-14. That's our final. And I'll turn it over to you guys.
Okay, we're going to take a break and we'll come back here for the Texoma Land and Realty team post-game show to see. Make sure I get it right here. Texoma Land and Home team post-game show. We'll be back in just a few minutes.
Hi, this is Matt Linder with Linda Hamill Insurance. Your home field is where everything happens. And I'm not talking about Bulldog Stadium. We're talking about your home, your car, and your life. For over 30 years, we've been offering bundled discounts on home, auto, and life. We offer Germania and Progressive insurance protection, as well as many others to suit your needs. Call us today at 903-965-4098 or come by and see us at 106 North Broadway in Bells, Texas. That's 903-965-4098.
This is Michelle Castle with Guild Mortgage, welcoming you to Howe Bulldogs football. Guild has been delivering on the promise of home to hundreds of thousands of people just like you for over 60 years. With a big heart and a desire to serve, we're committed to making life better in our communities. This is where we live, and we're committed to building it with you.
Guild Mortgage Company, Equal Housing Opportunity Company, NMLS number 3274. Michelle Castle, NMLS number 231122. Branch address 714 North Travis Street, Sherman, Texas 75090. All loans subject to underwriter approval. Terms and conditions apply. Subject to change without notice.
At Grayson Cullen Electric Cooperative, GCEC, we have been around for over 80 years and are governed by 7 principles: open and voluntary membership, democratic member control, members' economic participation, autonomy and independence, education, training, and information, cooperation among cooperatives, and concern for community. One of our communities is Howe, Texas, and GCEC is proud to support the Howe Bulldogs.
If you're a small business owner in Howe, Texas, think about everything you need to help your business succeed. You need a plan, happy customers, and an insurance agent that gets you. My name is Corey Hernandez, and I run a State Farm agency. Because I'm a small business owner myself, I understand the unique needs of local business owners. My office and I will make it easy to choose the right protection for you at the right price. Call State Farm agent Corey Hernandez at 903-893-8400 or visit InsuranceQuoteXHoma.com for your small business needs today.
Hello? Okay, I've been trying to talk for a while.
You're listening to the Texas Land and Home Realty Team Post-Game Show. Now let's go back to the stadium with Caroline Slauson, Justin White, Jake Roberts, and Blake Burnett.
All right, welcome back here to Bulldog Stadium here at the Texoma Land and Home Team Post-Game Show. I'm Justin White alongside Jake Roberts, Blake Burnett. Caroline Sloss is on the sideline. Monty has gone down to the sidelines and see his son, see how Malin has done. Bulldogs lose tonight to Bells 37-14. At the half, it was 13-7. Bells was in the lead, and we had a dogfight on our hands. But Bells came out that first drive of the second half, scored, and then things kind of just started to seem to unravel for the Bulldogs. Jake Roberts?
Yeah, it really seemed as soon as that first touchdown coming off of the second half, Bells, gone to the house. I think it just left Howe a little bit demoralized, and then they got the ball. They started a drive. You thought maybe they were going to be able to get back into this, but then they were turned away on 4th and goal. And again, another demoralizing blow to the Bulldogs, and I think that really turned the tide of the game here.
Yeah, and they Bells lose Brock Baker in the first half to a targeting call, and you kind of thought, and then they started having some injuries on some of their backs with Spencer Hines, Lane Kendrick, and they were down to third string Easton Helgren, who did have a pretty good couple good runs. And so you thought, okay, great, we take advantage of this. Well, then Howe started having some injury issues. We saw, didn't see much of Ryan Huff tonight. Cooper Jones went out late in the game. Braden Ulmer was banged up a little bit. Ethan Mayo had to come into the game later on. We hadn't seen him much at receiver. And so Howe was banged up on their side. And, again, they just started to unravel. And Bells did what they do, got that slot T offense, played great defense against this Howe offense that's been able to put up points, but they were really put the clamps down. Bells did, and then when they got in on the offensive side of the ball, they just drain the clock on Howe.
Yeah, the slot T did what the slot T does tonight, and it wasn't like the first half. Howe did a good job of making adjustments and stopping, and then that second half, with their leading rusher going out of the game being ejected, I just assumed Howe would clamp up and stop, put the clamps on them, but Grady Waldrop had a career night tonight for Bells.
Yeah, Waldrop kind of stepped up when Baker went out, and it just seemed like what and maybe it was just me, but it seemed like Bells didn't make a lot of adjustments. They just said, let's just keep doing what we do. We play good defense. We keep running the ball down your throat, and eventually you'll crack. You'll fall down, and we'll finish you off.
Yeah, I agree, and it was just one of those nights for Howe. The injuries started to add up, and in the first half, all the injuries were for Bell's kids. In the second half, it was like every other play, a Howe kid would go down, and you don't want to see that for either team in any game.
Caroline, if you have to, just pop on whenever you need to. So she's down the sidelines. I know a lot of the players we're getting talked to by Coach Braun. Now they're with their families, and see if she'll get a interview here in a second. You want to go ahead and do stats?
Yeah, I can jump into stats.
And then we'll just have Caroline jump in when she needs to.
37-14. Oh, go ahead, Caroline.
Can you hear us? I go ahead. I can't hear you. Oh man.
Try to come closer to us, Caroline. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know what it is either. So I guess we've had some mic issues here tonight, so it looks like she's not able to communicate with us up here. Go ahead, Blizzard. Go ahead and go with the stats.
37-14, Bells Panthers over the Howe Bulldogs tonight, as we've already said. Howe was led on offense by Austin Haley, who was 17 for 32 passing for 204 yards. That's considered a bad game in his standards because that's 50%. In his career, he's usually about 62% completion percentage. No touchdown passes tonight for Austin. Antoine Radler was the leading rusher with 17 carries for 52 yards. He did have a touchdown late. He's been averaging about 100 yards a game, even had over 100 yards last week against Gunner. So that just shows you how good that Bells defense is. Austin Haley, 6 carries for 34 yards. Cooper Jones, 2 carries for 2 yards and a touchdown. Braden Ulmer, 2 carries for 3 yards. Receiving tonight, the Bulldogs were led by Braden Ulmer, who had 8 catches for 108 yards. Cooper Jones had 3 for 41. Colin Murphy had 3 for 18. Garen Langford had 2 for 22 yards. And Tristan Williams had 1 for 15. On defense, the Bulldogs were led by Bo Stevens and Carson Daniels. Both had 7 tackles. Braden Ulmer had 6. Tristan Williams 4. Matt Hayes 4. Garen Langford 4. Langford also forced a fumble that was recovered by Colton Little. Riddle had 2. Mayo 1. Tank Turner 3. Malin Walker 2. And Bryce Crosby 3 tackles. Now we'll jump into the Bells stats. They did not complete a pass tonight, only threw the ball 1 time. It was on a 4th and 17, and the quarterback overthrew his target. Leading rusher tonight for Bells was Grady Waldrop. You ready for the stat line, Justin?
Let's hear it.
15 carries, 258 yards.
Wow.
And 3 touchdowns. Brock Baker, who was ejected in the second quarter, had 5 carries for 58 yards and a touchdown. And Spencer Hines had 1 carry for 78 yards and a touchdown. He got hurt early and didn't play in the second half. Hayden Allen, 1 carry for 1 yard. Lane Kendrick, 1 carry for -4 yards. He also got hurt in the first half and did not play in the second half. Jacob Aaron, 3 carries for 19 yards. Easton Helgren, 2 carries for 2 yards. And Bryson Thompson, 2 carries for 7 yards.
How many touchdowns did Waldrop have?
He had 3. Baker had 1, and Spencer Hines had 1. There was their 5 scores.
That's 17.2 yards a carry by Waldrop.
Yeah, well, if you take away his long runs, obviously that makes the average, but he was constantly getting 6-7 yards every time he touched the ball without the long run. So it was just an impressive night for Grady Waldrop. On defense, the star of the show for Bells was the nose tackle Cooper Smith, who had 8 tackles, but that doesn't even tell the story. He had so many pressures on Austin Haley tonight and just was in his face on every pass. Brock Baker, the leading tackler, 3, as I stated earlier, ejected early. Kohler High, 6. Gabe Rogers, 2 tackles. Hayden Allen, 2 tackles. Kai Brown, 4 tackles. Colt Stone, 5 tackles. Preston Carter, 4. Jacob Aaron, 2. Tucker Critz, 1. Peyton Washburn, 2. And Bryson Thompson, 6 tackles.
Is Cooper Smith the best nose tackle in the district?
I believe so. He's a little, the kid from Leonard's really good too, but they even lined Cooper Smith up at end tonight too. They were kind of playing him in different places to make sure that he was getting the best spot for him to make a play, if you would say so.
Well, I kept saying they were only rushing 3 guys pretty much the whole entire night.
Yeah, they rushed 3 and dropped 8, and when you have a guy that gets pressure almost every play. And I remember him like 3 or 2 years ago, the game we were in the stands in Bells. Do you remember that game, Justin?
I do.
I think he was a freshman or a sophomore then, and he was the player of the game. He had like 3 sacks on that night. So
yeah, he's a grown man out there.
Yeah,
He was about 6'5", I believe.
Yeah, he's about 6'5", and he's lost some weight too. Like during basketball, he's pretty big, like thick and stuff. He looked kind of skinny tonight, but more explosive and faster, I think.
Yeah, be able to get around.
He's walking around with a big cowboy hat on the field right now.
Let's see if we can do some scores around the area real quick. I did not see the final yet on what was it, the Blue Ridge and...
It was 20-6 Leonard last I saw. And the thing's not updating now. So.
Some other scores, Mount Vernon leading Commerce 44-24. That's in the 4th quarter. Lovejoy big on Mesquite Petite 63-3. Ponder losing to Peaster 55-27. That's in the 4th quarter. 35-0 Crum up on Farmersville. Salina defeats Dallas Carter 55-13.
Yeah, it still says 20-6 Leonard with 3:35 remaining in the game.
Wow, okay. Whitewright beats Trenton 35-7. Van Alstyne 38-13 over Bridgeport.
Another game we were talking about earlier, Justin. Cooper beat Honeygrove 36-8 tonight.
Oh wow!
That was a game we were talking about when we first got here. Yeah.
Cooper was undefeated on the season. Honeygrove had 1 loss, 6-1, and that 1 loss was to the Howe Bulldogs. And so it's kind of interesting to see how Honeygrove has evolved this season, and they lose big there to Cooper tonight. Let's see. 26. I still got the score for Leonard and Blue Ridge. That's in the 4th quarter. Again, Bulldogs will take on Blue Ridge next week. You kind of hope everybody's healthy for next week. It'll be interesting to see how the injuries stack up here during this week. Again, Ryan Huff was out early in the game. Cooper Jones went out late in the game on an odd injury. He caught a slant pass across the middle, got hit pretty good, but we've seen him get hit harder, and then he just took a quick knee, and then he ran to the sidelines and then fell down on his back.
Yeah, it was very odd, and like I said when it happened, he usually tries to run over someone or jump over them, and he just went straight, took a knee, and then ran straight to the sideline. That's very unlike him in that situation.
And then Braden Ulmer, we kind of saw him limping around at the end. And then who else? It seemed like there was one other receiver, one other player.
Huff did not play the second half at all.
Yeah. Maybe it's just those main 3.
Yeah, it was those 3, and then Bryce Crosby too.
Yeah. Oh yes, Crosby was out.
He didn't.
First half.
Yeah, he didn't play second half at all. Another score I just saw in the old district: Winsboro, Mineola, 39-36. Winsboro final.
Oh wow! Winsboro coming off that loss last week to Pottsboro.
Yeah, Pottsboro's in the driver's seat in the district right now.
Is Pottsboro off tonight, or are they?
Pottsboro beat Emory 52-7.
Okay.
But
wait, what were you saying?
They have Mount Vernon to end the year, but Mount Vernon did lose to Winsboro 2 weeks ago.
Wait, say that again?
Pottsboro ends the year at Mount Vernon, but Mount Vernon lost to Winsboro 2 weeks ago.
Mount Vernon did?
Yep, 28-14.
Well, I don't think I ever realized that.
I didn't either until I was like going back and rewatched a little bit of the Pottsboro-Winsboro game. And before the game, it said Winsboro beat Mount Vernon last week in a rivalry game against Mount Vernon, 28-14.
Well, Mount Vernon's showing that they are human, that they can be defeated in the regular season. So that means they could be getting second place in the district.
Yeah, I think you like it was last year. That district is tough. You got Mount Vernon, Winsboro, Mineola, and Pottsboro.
Yeah.
Like 4 really good football teams.
Bonham was able to sneak one out last year against Winsboro.
Yeah.
And Bonham's having a tough year this year, but those 4 teams you just mentioned are usually the favorites to be in the playoffs.
Yeah.
What do you think about as far as Bells? We talked about it a little bit at the end of the game about Bells in the playoffs, the kind of run that they can make.
Well, Monty said earlier that Cooper Smith did not play the first half against Gunner. I'd like to see him play the first half against Gunner because that game could have been totally different. Because he's the real deal out there, and but they held Gunner to 24 points. That shows you how good they are. I believe they get to that 4th round matchup against Gunner, their rematch this year with Gunner.
And think about who's in that district. You got Holiday. That region.
They always run into Holiday, and Holiday's gotten them the last 2 years. I think this is the year Bells gets past Holiday.
Okay. Do we want to do highlights?
Yeah, we can do highlights.
Okay. I think Monty is back, and are you with us, Monty?
I'm with us.
How's it going down there?
There's one kid that wanted to get out of there. He had to take pictures with his cousin Jackson from Bells, and he had to take pictures. So grandmas played against each other, and my mother and a lady from Bells played against each other. So grandsons got pictures with each other with their grandmas, and that was Bryson Thompson.
Oh yeah, we called his name a couple times.
Yeah, so Malin and Bryson Thompson. I said, have y'all met? And they're like, no. And Bryson went, hi, I'm Bryson Thompson. After the game, it's kind of odd, but grandmas were very happy to get their pictures made with everybody.
Okay.
So we're going to recap this. Is that what we're doing? Are you ready to go? So Howe took the ball first. I'm not sure exactly what calls we have here, but we'll wing it.
We have all the touchdowns.
Okay. Howe took the ball first as they won the coin toss. Went 12 plays, 89 yards. Put points on the board first tonight as they took 5 minutes and 29 seconds off the clock and scored on a 1-yard touchdown by Cooper Jones. And he scored after the PAT. It was 7-0 with 6:11 left to go in the first. Bells took it at their own 22-yard line. It didn't, they're ground and pound. It's going to take them 13 plays to score, right? Nope. 1 play, 78 yards. That tied the game at 7 with 5:53 on the clock in the first. Howe's next possession was a punt. Back to Bells from their own 21-yard line. Howe held to the turnover on downs. And Howe got the ball back at their own 28-yard line and had to punt again. Bells took it at their own 42, drove 5 plays, 58 yards, and it was a shot out of a cannon by Brock Baker. And he didn't have many after that because he was ejected from the game for targeting, and that gave Bells a 13-7 lead as they missed the 2-point conversion, 7:36 on the clock in the second quarter. Howe had to punt on their next possession. Bells turned it over on downs. Howe had a chance to score right before the half to take the lead. They drove all the way down from their own 33 down to the 22, actually inside the 10-yard lines to set up a 1st and goal. Penalties took them back, and they couldn't punch it in, and the half ended 13-7. Bells took the football first to start the second half, and that's where the game really changed. And it was only 2 plays into the second half when Waldrop took it to the house. There was a penalty, but it went no. That's a different one. So sorry about that. 68 yards for Waldrop. 2-point conversion was good. That got Bells back on track. 21-7 lead over Howe with 11:11 left to go in the third. Howe took it there at their own 27-yard line. They drove all the way down 13 plays to the 7-yard line. Couldn't punch it in. For the second drive in a row, they got within the 10-yard line and were turned away on downs. That great Bells Panther defense really stiffened up inside the red zone. Bells took it at their own 7-yard line, deep in their own territory, 93 yards away. One play later, it was a 92-yard touchdown by Waldrop. It was for everything because the flag was against Howe. 2-point conversion for Bells, ended a 2-play 93-yard drive, and planted a 29 spot on the board for the Bells Panthers against 7 for Howe with 4:23 left to go in the third. Howe took it at their own 25-yard line, drove down to the 20, had to punt it away. They did recover the fumble, however, on the punt, which gave them the ball at the Bells 32-yard line. Drove it 4 plays, but again, couldn't punch it in against that Bells defense. Turned it over on downs. Bells took it with a minute left to go in the third at their own 30-yard line, and they did what they do. They drove 9 plays and 70 yards, took a ton of time off the clock, and it was Waldrop who punched it in for the third time tonight. Nine plays, 70 yards, put 37 on the board for Bells and 7 for Howe. 7:27 left to go in the game. Howe with a last-ditch effort to try to get points on the board. Started at their own 25-yard line, drove 10 plays, 75 yards, and finally punched it in with Rattler. $11 yards on the touchdown for Rattler. Gave us our final score, 37-14. The Bulldogs take it on the chin tonight at home. 3:08 was left on the clock when he scored, and Bells ran that out. And here we are in the Texoma Land and Home Team postgame show. We're about to close this one out. Justin White, final thoughts?
Yeah, again, you played a good half of football, and it just unraveled there in the second half. But you got two of your toughest opponents out of the way back-to-back. So, am I on?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry. You got two of your toughest opponents back-to-back. I guess that's the way you'd want the schedule to be. If you wanted to. I know we talked earlier. You kind of liked it that way, having both of them back-to-back in the middle. Did you?
Well, I think now, I think it's worked out pretty well as long as you win that first one against Leonard.
Yeah.
The problem was being, if you were 0-3 at this point, and needing 2 to get in and needing to win by a lot.
Yeah.
Then you'd have concerns. But right now, you need one more win. You really need 2 more wins to make sure. And I don't know what happened in Blue Ridge tonight, but the Howe Bulldogs are good enough to win the next 2 games.
The next 2 are very, very winnable.
But you got to be healthy, and Howe is not healthy. And I'm not sure if early discussion out there is Bryce Crosby might not be back for the year.
Wow.
That'd be a huge loss.
Yeah, not only do they have some injuries, they had some key injuries tonight. We talked about that earlier with Huff. Cooper Jones, don't know what's going on with him. We talked about Crosby. So it'll be interesting to see how this week transpires with getting ready for Blue Ridge. Well,
they're going to have to get healthy and get ready to go because Blue Ridge is about as good or about as big of a game that Howe's had in a long time. They've all been. Leonard was a huge game. And they've hyped up every game, which they should because Howe's good. But really, this game right here is more important than Leonard. Every game is the most important game, and this one coming up is by far the most important game.
Especially the ones that you have a chance to win. Not that you couldn't win these last 2 games, but they were going to be tough games. They were 2 state-ranked opponents. They were good teams, and you weren't necessarily favored to win. You could have pulled something out, but the Leonard game and these next 2 games, those are definitely winnable games and a chance for you to get in the playoffs. They're going to definitely playoff implications with it.
Well, it's going to be at home, and I hope everyone in the 45-mile radius will get to Bulldog Stadium next week because it is going to be a big one. First time that Howe really has a chance to make the playoffs. And not that next week's win would clinch a playoff spot necessarily, because there could be three-way ties, and we don't know the outcomes of the other games right now, so we don't have an up-to-the-minute scenario for you. But you still got to finish out the season with 2 wins, and I think the Howe Bulldogs are very capable of doing that. Need to get healthy, but I think they can do it. So for everyone who's been a part of this one, it's a 37-14 final. Bells takes it. They're number 5 in state for a reason. Howe put up a great fight in the first half, ran out of gas with their 22-man roster. We're about to call them the skinny 20. That's about what's left. For everyone who's part of this one, including Jake Roberts, Justin White, Blake Burnett, and Caroline Slauson, I'm Monty Walker. So long, everybody.
You've been listening to the Texas Land and Home Realty Team post-game show. Howe Bulldogs football is a product of Studio 42. The full replay of the game will be available within minutes on this same link on YouTube and HoweEnterprise.com. Howe Bulldogs football is brought to you by Scoggins Funeral Home, Baker Air Conditioning and Heating, Independent Financial, GC Easy, Sonic of Howe. Also brought to you by Michelle Castle Guild Mortgage, Atmos Energy, Corey Hernandez State Farm, Rapid Electric, Brother Plumber, Attorney Micah Belden. Also brought to you by Howe Athletic Booster Club, Linda Hamill Insurance, Michelle Carney Photography, Hit Exteriors LLC, TechWave, Night Furniture, Bullard Construction. Also brought to you by All In Custom Gutters and Christmas Lights, Texoma Land and Home Realty Team,
Don's Smokehouse, Goodfellas Barbershop.
Turn out the lights. The party's over. They say that all.